The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
We have reached the end of one of the worst, if not the worst, Jet season ever. So for the final time this season, we check in with the great Joe B to talk about where the Jets go from here. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man. This is the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Before we bring on the great Joe B, a huge shout-out to everyone who tuned into our post-game shows all season long. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Like this video and just know that each and every day we will continue to be live on this channel talking all things New York Jets. And joining us right now for the final time this season after a Jets game is the host of the O the Pain podcast, the great Joe Benigno. Joe, happy Victory Monday to you. Too little, too late, of course, but nice to beat the Dolphins yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think the Dolphins kind of, mailed it in a little bit after they realized they had no shot to make the playoffs as Denver was whacking the Chiefs. Chiefs didn't play anybody. So, but it was good to beat them, and it was good to see Rodgers have a big game yesterday like he did, 4 touchdown passes. And my feeling, man, it is a major mistake if this guy is let go by the Jets. I do not buy he's retiring. I think he's got plenty left in the tank. And he'll go somewhere next year, if he's not here, and light it up, probably in San Francisco. So, again, I think it's a massive mistake if the Jets let him go.
It's interesting because he sounded this week like a guy that was really thinking about retirement. Devontae Adams said after the game that he'd be surprised, though, if he did retire. Assuming he wants to play, my big thing is I want the GM and the head coach that they hire to ultimately be making that decision. And I don't know if you saw the interview that Woody Johnson did with Brian Costello on the Post, came out this morning, but Woody said publicly that he's going to let that decision on Rodgers be made by the powers that be that he hires. So if you believe Woody, I think that is at least a positive that he's going to let his football people make that decision on Rodgers.
Well, look, I mean, to me, let's hope he hires the right person here, right GM. I like Louis Riddick a lot. I got to tell you, I don't think he's going to get the job as GM, but I do like him. And my feeling on a coach. I mean, look, if Mike Vrabel is going to the Patriots, and you said this before we went on the air, I'm not sold on that. If I'm Mike Vrabel, okay, and obviously they fired Mayo. Let's be honest. When Kraft heard that he was interviewed with the Jets and that the interview really went well, that immediately triggered him getting rid of Mayo, who they absolutely hosed. I mean, I don't know what they expected in the first year of this guy with a rookie quarterback and all. What did you expect? They wound up winning 4 games. So they screwed Mayo as far as I'm concerned. And they did it because they don't want to see Vrabel go to the Jets. He wants to hire Vrabel. And I'll tell you right now, if I'm Mike Vrabel, do I really want to be? Because let's be honest, he's really would be the guy that's following Belichick, not necessarily Mayo, even though Mayo was there for a stopgap 1 year. Do I want to put that pressure on myself if I'm Vrabel? Where if I come to the Jets, there's only one place I can go, and that's up. So I'm with you. You said this. I'm not completely sold that he's taking the Patriot job.
If I had to bet, I think he ends up there for sure. But, they still have their GM in place. And we know a big thing with Vrabel is he wants to work with a GM he likes. So, I don't know what his relationship is with this Elliott Wolf guy who's still there. And, you look around the league today, Joe, as we sit here and we do this podcast together, there's only 5 openings at coach right now. And the Jets are the only team that needs both GM and coach. I mean, the Giants are keeping Joe Shane. The Jaguars, for some reason, didn't fire Trent Baalke, even though they got rid of Doug Peterson.
Right.
I actually think in an odd way, the Jets get the benefit of being a team that gets to hire the coach and GM together and keep them on the same timeline coming in.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. It definitely does. We'll see what happens. I'm all for Rex. They're going to interview Rex Tuesday. I'm in for Rex, man. Bring him in. I'm good to go. And here's the other thing with Rex. The media doesn't want him. Everybody in the media is against him, okay? Which makes me want him even more. No, I'm serious. The more the media doesn't want him, the more I want him. And it's the same thing with Rodgers, right? Even my buddy Mike Vaccaro, I love Mike Vaccaro with a post, and I'm singling him out because I like him a lot. Even he's ripping Rodgers. So, the more I hear that, I want Rodgers to stay. I want Rex as the coach. I gave you 3 names: Rex, Brian Flores, who I absolutely love, or even Pete Carroll. I don't think Pete Carroll would be bad, to be very honest with you, even though he's basically my age, but I take a shot with Pete Carroll.
Is your big sticking point experience? Like, you don't want any first-time head coach?
No, absolutely not. That's a mistake. And I don't want Ron Rivera, and I don't want Cliff Kingsbury, and I don't want Matt Nagy. And I don't want Doug Peterson either, for that matter.
Did you hear about another name that the Jets apparently are going to be requesting to speak to?
No.
Vance Joseph.
What? So what is he, the defensive coordinator in Denver? Is that what he is?
Former head coach. Experience.
Well, yeah, but wasn't he an interim head coach?
Right. I think he got fired. Wasn't he one and done? I think he got one year.
And done?
He might have been.
I don't want Vance Joseph either. I don't want him. They should be talking to Flores. I mean, to me, Flores is the guy. I mean, come on.
John Gruden, another name with experience?
Maybe. I don't think Gruden is going to get the job, but I'd be okay with him.
It's going to be fascinating to see what they do. And I do think we focused so much on the coach to this point, and I think Vrabel might have been like the one guy where if you hire him, it's almost like he's picking the GM he wants to work with. But I think probably everyone else, I'd imagine they're going to go general manager first, and then that guy's going to be a part of the coach search. And the news broke this morning, Mike Borgonzi is the first known name the Jets have requested to speak with for their GM opening. He's the assistant GM of the Chiefs. So I don't know if he can find the next Patrick Mahomes with the Jets, but that's the first known GM candidate that's with a team.
Doesn't excite me. My excitement level is low. You know what I mean? I just expect the worst. I expect that we will make all the wrong decisions and continue the losing in perpetuity that we're basically on right now. I have no confidence in Woody Johnson making the right decision. I have no confidence in this franchise making the right decision. And, like I said, expect the worst. You're never disappointed.
Did you hear Woody's brief statement to the media after the game yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say no. What did he say? Not much.
He's talking about primetime games as like one of his like line of demarcations that the team was going to be good. I don't know. Just every time he talks publicly, you just shake your head and just.
Well, what he said yesterday means nothing to me. Nothing.
His checkbook means everything, and being able to tell candidates he'll let them do their job. That's more important than anything else.
Right.
We're talking with Joe B. If you have any questions for Joe, State of the Jets, our final one after a victory Monday for a change.
By the way, let me just say this too. One more thing about Rodgers. I mean, and I understand everybody's, like I said, the media is all pushing him out of town and all it is. Yesterday, watching the game, I was getting sick listening to Joe Davis and Greg Olsen basically say he's done. I mean, what the hell do they know? They don't know nothing. They basically kept saying it during the entire game. Oh, this is his last game as a Jet. You don't know that. What the hell do you know? So that kind of bothered me watching the game too. I mean, I love sticking it to the Dolphins. Tyler Huntley stinks, by the way. I mean,
I thought he was point shaving, Joe.
Actually looked good yesterday.
Yeah.
Jets had more turnovers yesterday than he had all year. It was unbelievable. Ashton Davis intercepting passes. I mean, it's crazy.
He's Mr. Week 18. He did it last year too against New England. He had a big interception.
Right. It's amazing he's still on the team. He's the only guy left from Joe Douglas's first draft class, which is crazy.
By the way, congrats to Hassan Reddick. He had a half a sack this year with the Jets. He what an accomplishment for him this season.
Oh my God, Hassan Reddick. Look, I mean, if you get the right guy in here, the defense still has players. I mean, let's be. You got the Williams brothers. They got to sign Sherwood, but you got him. Sauce is still here. He needs a big stick up his rear end. Jermaine Johnson is coming back. there's guys here. You bring in a guy like Rex, and his defense is going to be better immediately. You know that. Like, immediately, it'll be better.
What are your thoughts on, I don't know if you've caught any of like Rex's comments either this morning or yesterday,
No.
but he basically, I feel like he's kind of trying to say whatever Woody wants to hear. Like he talked about Rodgers yesterday and said, well, like how committed is he to the team? He wasn't at minicamp, which is the most overplayed, nonsensical storyline with that. So I don't know. I feel like Rex is just basically trying to say anything he could say to get on Woody's good side to try and get the job.
Sounds that way.
Rex also said this morning, Joe, that he doesn't have a staff in mind yet, but he wants the best staff. Do you have any thoughts on any concerns with Rex, who's been out of the league for a decade, hiring a good coaching staff?
No, not particularly. I really don't. I don't. I have confidence in Rex, bro. I'm telling you right now. I think Rex comes here. He gives us an immediate identity. The defense will be fixed. I don't think there's any question about that. But like you said, you got to get the right offensive coordinator. He's got to bring the right staff in here. I'm very concerned they're going to screw this up. I'm telling you. I got no. Why would I have any confidence in this franchise doing it right? I have none.
You shouldn't. But you watched the Lions last night. People mocked that hire when it was made with Campbell. It worked out for them. Aaron Glenn does seem like he's going to be one of the favorites for this job, Joe. I know you don't want any first-timers, but how would you feel about potentially Aaron Glenn?
The only thing he has going for him is that he's a former Jet. Outside of that, I have no great confidence in him either. None. Why would I?
Yep. It's expected that they're going to request him today if they haven't done so already. Super chat here
I guess
from
they
Adam.
can talk to him because they don't play for a while now, the Lions, right?
Correct.
So
But you can't. I think the rule is you wouldn't be able to have any in-person conversation with anyone until like January 20th at the earliest. So this is going to be playing out over the next several weeks. This is not something, even like people are like, oh, Vrabel's going to New England. Well, they still got to interview 2 minority candidates first for the Rooney Rule before they can even hire him anyway.
By the way, this idea that they're going to that Jeff Ulbrich gets an interview is ridiculous. I mean,
they should give you an interview then if we're doing that.
Please. I mean, what are you wasting your time with Jeff Ulbrich? The whole staff should be fired today. They should all be gone now, as far as I'm concerned.
Agreed. This super chat is from Adam. He says, Vrabel looking likely for New England. Is Aaron Glenn now the number one option? I think he's probably mine. Get him with a good OC with a rookie behind Rodgers.
Not crazy about him. First time coach. I'm worried about that. Worries me.
Ryan checks in. He says, head coach is key. Plenty of options for GM, Dimitroff, and then consider Mayo for DC. Gerard Mayo is DC. You on board with that idea?
It's not terrible. I mean, I wouldn't want him as the head coach, but I mean, it's not terrible.
Our guy Stan from Westport, who you and I know well, says Rex is bluster on air and continually leaves the impression he's talked himself out of the job. The interview of Rex is likely only occurring to placate fans.
Stan should stick to baseball.
Peter Castro,
but he should stick to baseball.
Peter Castro says, Joe, Brian Flores, or bust.
I love Flores. You know that. I love him. I mean, I think he'd come in and kick ass right away. He's a tough guy. He's a mini Mike Tomlin. He's from Brooklyn. He's got a big, major chip on his shoulder. I love Flores. Love him.
Dante with a super chat. I know it's just business, but I'm sick of the Jets being used as leverage for other coaching positions.
Well, that happens all the time. I mean, that's, because we're viewed as a joke. Our franchise is viewed as a joke. By the way, you should notice, where do we draft? 10? Where are we?
No, the Jets are picking 7, baby. Lucky 7, Joe.
Is that where we are?
Yeah, the Jets are 7. They only lost 1 spot with the win yesterday, so who cares?
Yeah, that's all right. That's cool.
And you look at the top of the draft, Joe. I mean, how about the New York Giants now deciding yesterday they didn't want to win with how they handled that game, and they're picking 3 in a 2-quarterback draft?
I got a feeling, and I've said this, and I'm on record as saying this, and I'm going to say it again. I don't think Deion Sanders wants his son going to Tennessee or Cleveland. I can tell you right now. Two brutal franchises, okay? Cleveland might be worse than the Jets, which is really saying something. It's up there. I think he's going to do whatever he can to get his son to the Giants. Don't be
interesting.
Shocked.
So you think he'll basically Eli Manning again for Shador?
Yes, I definitely can see that happening. Absolutely. And if not, and if he does wind up going to Tennessee or Cleveland, and Ward goes to Tennessee or Cleveland as the other guy, If I'm the Giants, I think I'd take Travis Hunter. I'd put Travis Hunter on one side and Malik Neighbors on the other, and got to find somebody to throw the ball to him. But, that'd be pretty good.
Are you
But don't be
surprised?
shy. I'm telling you, I think Dion wants his son playing for the Giants. I really do.
Were you surprised that Dable and Shane are both back?
No, I thought they'd both be back. I think they're going to get their chance to find their quarterback, and I thought that all along. I don't think Mara wants to start again. I really don't. So I'm not surprised at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Joe Benigno. His podcast, the Oh the Pain podcast, will be out today. Another episode talking all things NFL. We'll get Joe's thoughts on the wildcard weekend matchups in a bit as well. But if you're one of the 870 people in here right now, make sure you hit that red subscribe button on the right-hand side. We talk Jets every day on this channel. A super chat from Dixon Yas, who says, would you extend Eccles if there's space money-wise?
I like Eccles. I think he's good. I think he always makes plays. He's a solid, third corner, probably better than DJ Reed. I think he played better this year than Gardner did, to be very honest. I like Eccles. I like him.
Jack writes in, the Pats screwed Mayo the way the Dolphins did Flores. Also, if Vrabel's out, give me Flores. He's an ass kicker.
Yeah. You know how I feel about Flores, and they definitely screwed Mayo. There's no question about it, 100%.
They did, and it almost feels like they almost have to get Vrabel now, because otherwise it looks awful if you're going to fire the heir apparent to Belichick after just 1 year. Like, you almost have to get Vrabel.
I'm telling you, the fact that the Jets had this apparently very good meeting with Vrabel, that precipitated this move by Kraft. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Matt from L5 checks in, the great Matt from L5. What I do for Riddick and Dan Orlovsky in the front office with Vrabel as head coach. Pipe dream with Vrabel. Bring back Rodgers, otherwise blow it all up. Yeah,
I mean, I like Riddick a lot. That's for sure. I don't know, I don't know about Orlovsky so much, but I mean, I definitely like Riddick, and I'm all for Vrabel, and you know how I feel about Rodgers. So,
some pushback for your love of Rex, Joe. A couple comments here for you. This is from Asaf, who says, "Hey Joe, you do know Rex won with Mangini's players, and his drafts got awful. Once you drafted his own players, the team sucked."
Yeah, I also think the rug was pulled out from under him when they fired Mike Tannenbaum and brought in John Idzik. I mean, let's not forget that aspect of it, too. Look, I understand Rex had his faults. I mean, the whole thing with Sanchez, I get it. He screwed Sanchez up, playing him in that preseason game with the Giants and all of that. But, look, I'll take my chances with Rex. Rex wants to coach the team. To me, that's a big factor. He wants to be here. He wants to win with the Jets. That means something to me.
Here's the other pushback you're going to get. Mo writes in, if Rex is such a good candidate, why is no one else interviewing him?
Well, I mean, look, I think a lot of people look at Rex as, he hasn't coached in a long time. And, I think that's part of it. But I think the only place he wants to coach is the Jets, to be very honest. That's the impression I get. I could be wrong. I think he made one thing you don't want, and he made a mistake going to Buffalo right after the Jet thing was done. You don't want somebody coming off immediately after leaving another team. I mean, that never works out. We saw that with Gaze. You saw it with Rex. I don't want anybody like that.
And Rex has talked about regretting going back in right away, but he wanted to get back in. He wanted to prove he was so hurt he got fired. But in hindsight, if he had waited a year, look what Mike Vrabel has now been able to do for himself.
Yeah,
everyone wants the guy. Rex would have been the number one candidate if he just waited a year.
Like I said, I never want a guy that's immediately just got fired. But you got to at least give me a year or a couple of years away before I want him again.
We have some Jet coaching news here. The Jets have put in a request to speak with Texans OC Bobby Slowick, who I want nothing to do with because I know a lot about him from my time in Houston. But your thoughts on the Texans OC being a potential candidate, Joe?
Yep. That's my answer right there.
Bobby
Slowick. God be with us.
On this show, we refer to him as Slow Dick, as he's been referred to by one of our longtime callers, the great Peter Castro.
Whatever.
Hennessy says, if I'm Rex, I'll take the DC job in Cincinnati. I mean,
why?
Is he going to get offered that job?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is he? I mean, I don't know. Are they dumping their defensive coordinator? They had a pretty nice run at the end of the year. They won their last 5 games. So
Here is an analogy for you to weigh in on, Joe. Eric says, hiring Rex Ryan is like going home with the chick at 3:30 a.m. after not talking to anyone the whole night.
I disagree with that. I mean, we've already been, it's more like, remarrying your ex-wife, isn't it? More so than, some arbitrary woman that, you were running out of options. So you decided to, any port in the storm. You know what I mean?
Do you think getting back with your ex could work? Because it didn't work with J-Lo and Ben Affleck. So many people are questioning how that impacts the Jets and Rex.
I don't really think that's ever a good idea. To be very honest with you, to me, I've been there, done that. Time to move on. But I don't necessarily equate NFL coaching to marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Joe, you're the best. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. If you've got a question for Joe, write it in. While the questions start coming in here for you, Joe, your initial thoughts on Wild Card Weekend. We have, of course, a bunch of intriguing matchups. We now know the two teams with the buys in both conferences. Kansas City, of course, and last night we saw the Lions clinch the 1 seed. But your thoughts on Wild Card Weekend, which starts Saturday?
A couple intriguing games. The best game, of course, is on Amazon. That's the Steelers and the Ravens, which is, to me, the number one rivalry in all of the NFL. So that'll be an interesting game. They split their 2 games this year. Probably a team the Ravens really don't want to play right away. I mean, I would think, especially Pittsburgh losing the last 4 games of the year. That's, they really collapse at the end of the year. So I think they're very dangerous. Especially playing Baltimore. So keep an eye on that game. The other game, I'm actually intrigued by the Broncos going into Buffalo to play the Bills. I really am. What's that?
You give Denver a chance?
I do. I give them a shot. They probably won't win, but I definitely give them a shot. The Minnesota Ram game is pretty intriguing that you got a 14-win team that has to go in and play a 10-win team on the road. And you got a similar situation with Washington. And you got a 12-win Washington team that's got to go into Tampa and play a 10-win Tampa Bay team. I actually heard stuff that Todd Bowles was in trouble in Tampa. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't think so. I do think, though, if they lost that game yesterday, it would be interesting. Because didn't that game kind of remind you of week 17 up in Buffalo in 2015 for Bowles, watching that performance for a lot of that game?
Yeah, I never really got the feeling, though, that New Orleans was going to win the game. And again, I watched Baker Mayfield. He had a couple of rough moments in that game, but he is tough as nails. This is the guy the Jets should have signed years ago. They really should have. I love Mayfield. He's got big balls, and you saw it again yesterday. Had a couple of huge runs for them in that game yesterday. I watched the whole game. It was on here in New York. I love Mayfield. And, I think Tampa will beat Washington. I do. I think they will.
Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. Now, I find this hard to believe, but there are some rumblings of this, that if the Steelers were to lose Wild Card Weekend now to the Ravens, that, hey, teams are going to call about Mike Tomlin. I know you love Tomlin. I love Tomlin.
Yeah. First of all, Pittsburgh would be beyond foolish to get rid of Mike Tomlin.
Agreed.
Number one. Number two, I would walk to Pittsburgh to bring Mike Tomlin to the Jets. I mean, if you gave me just one guy, you said, okay, Joe, give me one coach that you want above all others, okay, assuming that would be possible, it's Mike Tomlin.
So here's my question to you.
Yep.
What would you trade to get Mike Tomlin? Because you'd have to trade for him. They're not just going to fire him in this hypothetical. Right. But what would you be willing?
I'd give up a number 1 for Mike Tomlin. I'll tell you that.
I think I'd trade the entire draft. I would trade the Jets' entire draft to get Mike Tomlin.
Well, I don't know about that. Let's not get delirious.
Why not? Where are they finding anyone better? He changed everything.
Well, I'll give you a number 1 and Sauce Gardner for him. How's that?
I love Sauce, but you have to do it.
For Mike Tomlin, yeah. And I'll tell you right now, Mike Tomlin came in, he'd want Rodgers as quarterback. I'd be shocked if that wasn't the case.
I agree. By the way, if they do get flamed out in the wild card round and the Jets move on from Rodgers, that's a sneaky possibility for him to go and play there for a year, because we know Rodgers and Tomlin have a lot of mutual respect for each other.
Yeah, and he'll win big there. He'll win big. Let me tell you right now, if Rodgers leaves the Jets, wherever he goes next year, San Francisco, Pittsburgh, wherever, he's going to have a big year. He's going to have a big year. And then all the writers who couldn't wait to get rid of him will be, ripping the Jets for letting him go. The same guys that, there's a lot of similarities between the sports media and the national media. There's a lot of similarities. We'll leave it at that.
V-Man writes in, Joe, thoughts on the Steelers choke job?
Well, I mean, they're in the playoffs. So I think they're very dangerous. Again, I'm telling you, the Ravens, the last team Baltimore wants to play is them. That's the way I feel in the first round.
Dominic, who's a Texans fan, writes in, I respect the Jets. Do not hire Slowick. He sucks.
Yeah. I look, the Texans, you got two teams that to me are very paper type teams playing each other. I do know Harbaugh, obviously, now in San Diego /LA. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think the Texans are very good. I think the Chargers will probably beat them, to be honest.
Texans playing in their usual 4:30 Eastern time slot, Saturday wildcard weekend. Right. When I was in Houston doing afternoon radio there, Joe, we used to call that the Texans Invitational because that's what it was. Every year the Texans have made the playoffs in their franchise's history, and they played in the wild card round. It has always been in that 4:30 Eastern time slot at home.
Especially with Bill O'Brien was the coach.
Yep, absolutely. Spencer Green writes in, any interest in Doug Peterson?
No. And like I said, I don't want anybody that's just coming off another team. And I understand Peterson, coached the Eagles, Super Bowl and all that. He couldn't win, the generational talent, Trevor Lawrence. How'd that work out? Yeah, I don't want a guy. To me, if Peterson was away for a couple years, I'd consider it. I don't want a guy moving directly from one team to another.
The name to watch in regards to that maybe is Mike McCarthy because his contract is up, so he could talk with other teams in about a week or so. Would you have any interest in Mike McCarthy, especially if you're someone who wants to keep Aaron Rodgers?
Even though I just said what I said about Peterson, I would consider McCarthy. I actually think he did a pretty good job this year. I mean, they won 7 games. They were competitive after Prescott got hurt. I would waive that rule I just said for McCarthy. How's that? Because it means that Rodgers would be staying here more than likely.
Yeah, I would think that if you bring in McCarthy, Rodgers would be back. The Jets would get destroyed for that, though. It'd be like you're really the Green Bay Packers.
I don't care. They're going to be destroyed for anything. They're going to destroy us. No matter what the Jets do, they will be destroyed. The worst guy that they can hire will be the one the media likes. That's what I The worst guy that the Jets can hire, like if they hired this guy Slowick, Brian Costello would be, singing the praises of him. You know what I mean? Oh, great. Slowick's here. That means another 3 years of Jet garbage, and we'll be looking for the next coach in 3 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with the great.
Any of these guys, Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, Aaron Glenn, any of these guys, they'll be gone in 3 years.
Let's see. This one is from Pittsburgh Biker writes here. Jake and Joe, what are your thoughts on trading for Kevin O'Connell if they get bounced in the playoffs? It's possible. Now, there was a report yesterday from Glazer that teams could call because he doesn't have an extension yet. But doesn't that just scream his agent gave that to Glazer because his guy hasn't gotten his extension yet and wants to get him paid?
The Vikings are not letting him go.
No.
Let's stop that pipe dream, all right?
Here is a scenario I have in my mind I want your take on. Brian Flores, head coach. Right. He takes with him Josh McCown, who's the quarterback's coach there, and promote him to OC. And the Jets trade for J.J. McCarthy because I can't see them moving on from Darnold. Your thoughts?
I'm not against that. I would not be against that.
And you keep Rodgers in this scenario.
And we keep Rodgers, right? And McCarthy sits for a year, or at least a late in the season. I'm good with that. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just trying to be creative at quarterback because there's not a lot out there.
No, I like that. I'm down with it. I'm down with all of what you just said.
Mad Willie writes in, what does Joe think about John Gruden?
I'd be okay with Gruden, but I just don't think he's coming back. I think he's been blackballed. Let's be real. I think the league has blackballed him.
I think he's a candidate for the Saints. We're going to find out about that this week.
Yeah, I'd take Gruden. I would take him.
I'll tell you what, he'd bring some energy, Joe.
It's J-E-T-S, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
I don't know if he'd love me, but I'm in with Gruden.
I think he would like you.
Yeah, maybe.
You guys could tell old football stories together. Gruden's obsessed with football. That's what I love about the guy. He truly just
we
genuinely
could do
loves football.
We could do a lot of discussion about stuff like that. You're
yes. Jesus Jerry said you'd have to give up a ransom for JJ. Ain't happening in this lifetime or next. I mean, Schefter said it'd be a first-round pick. Like, I don't know. I'd trade next year's one or do a pick swap this year and a second-round pick for JJ. I mean, it's not a great draft, and if you have a chance to get a quarterback, I think you got to consider.
The only thing I'll say, look, I'm not against McCarthy, but I don't know. Is he any good? I don't know that. I mean,
they say he'd be the number one quarterback in this year's class if he came out.
Okay, all right. I mean, I know he played for Harbaugh. He won a championship at Michigan. I get all that, but again, I wouldn't be adverse to him, but I'm not giving up the world to him. I'll say that.
Rich writes in, hit the like button. He is right. If you're one of the 1,179 people in here, make sure you click that like button and you are subscribed to the channel. And if you gift any memberships, you're entered in our raffle. Joe, one of our grand prizes, a replica Joe Willie Namath Super Bowl III Super Bowl ring right here that I know you're all in on. We also have
beautiful. You know, those rings are growing hair on them now. Like
that's
they're
right.
so old. It's so freaking old. It's like actually growing hair.
I have the Jet winner hat right here.
That's actually a very nice one. I like that one.
The brand new. And also
nice.
We have a Jet mini helmet that you have a chance to win as well for every $20 super chat.
Yeah, that too.
I don't have it with me, but I have a photo of it. But I will be sending it out to the winner.
Go.
There it is.
So it's one of those helmets that like you can autograph and stuff.
Exactly. Would you, if I sent you a Jet helmet, would you sign it and we could use it for a giveaway?
Yeah, I don't know, but anybody wants my. What the hell you want my autograph?
You're Joe B. Come on.
Come on, stop.
Andy with a super chat.
I'm a faded relic, bro.
You look good, Joe.
Oh yeah.
It's all.
I don't know how my wife looks at me. I mean, I wonder about that. I get the far better of that deal. I can tell you right now. Sometimes I think maybe she's got glaucoma or something.
Terry's the best. Without Terry, by the way, folks, we would not be able to do these shows every week. She's able to get Joe on the internet here to make this happen.
Let me tell you, without her, I don't know if I'd get out of bed.
Andy writes in, hi, Joe. I'm curious, who's your favorite underrated Jet that played in the mid to late 70s?
Favorite mid to late 70s. Well, that was a great era.
Oddly specific.
Do we have anybody? I don't know. I'll throw a name at you, and he's a congressman now in Utah, Burgess Owens.
Wow, okay.
Number one draft choice. Another Jet number one draft choice that won a Super Bowl with another team. He won a Super Bowl with the Raiders after the 1980 season. We've had a lot of those guys, I won't give you the list right now, but it includes John Riggins and Darrell Revis and Keyshawn Johnson and James Farrier, just to name a couple. You know what I mean? Jonathan Vilma, he's another one. Just a number of Jet number one picks that won Super Bowls with other teams. Just wonderful.
Dick Chimney's Burner checks in. I would definitely gift memberships for the Joe B signed helmet. See, we got at least one person out there who wants it.
I don't know what the hell you want my autograph for. Like I said, I'm a faded relic. I'm a guy that used to be a radio host. I do a part-time show now. I do a podcast, and I suffer watching my football team. Let me say that.
You do. Leanie writes, or Leanie gifted a membership. See, she's in. She wants the Joe B signed helmet.
God bless you, Leanie. God bless you. We love the women, man. We love them.
Dan checks in. I think you could sell me on Rex as long as the GM was a good one and Rex's staff was up to par with today's NFL. Too many years of the pain.
Yeah, well, we hold the record for the pain, no doubt, no doubt.
This season,
numbers,
Joe,
56, 14, 9, and 5. Those are the numbers. You figure it out.
56 is the Super Bowl drought.
Right.
You said 9?
For 14 first.
Okay,
so
14 is the playoff drought.
Right.
9 is the last.
With the Buffalo Sabres, by the way.
Yep. 9 is the consecutive years of not having a winning season, right?
Right.
And then the 5 is losing 10 or more games?
Yes.
Oh, man. Do I speak Joe B or what?
You know the deal. Jake, you're right. I love you, Jake. You're one of the greats. Jake's really one of the greats of all time. You really are. You're up there.
John writes in, Joe, you're a legend, brother.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Just remember, as Carly Simon so poetically has said, a legend's only a lonely boy when he goes home alone. And thank God that I don't do that,
More coaching news, Joe. You ready for this? Arthur Smith has just been requested.
Arthur, what is he? The defensive? He's the offensive coordinator now in Pittsburgh, right?
Correct. He was the Falcons head coach, where he went, I believe, 7-10 3 years in a row.
I'm not crazy about him.
He's kind of like offensive Saleh. He never really had a quarterback, but he's a pretty good OC.
Arthur Smith.
Joe Brady's been requested too, according to Pittsburgh.
Joe
Mike,
Brady. Now what is he? Is he the OC now with the Bills? Right.
Bills OC. Yep.
He looks great when he's got Josh Allen as his quarterback. I'm not crazy about him. He's another first-time coach. I don't want him.
On a side note, I'm seeing this. John Maris said he called Saquon Barkley yesterday. He told him he was very upset with his commercial. Wanted to know why he wasn't in it. We have an acting gene in our family. Oh, so I guess he was kidding. Okay.
Say this again. What's this now? Because I'm looking at these. I'm actually looking at these private chat comments here.
Oh, you got the public chat and the private chat here.
Yeah.
It's all happening. There was a commercial with Barkley where he took a dig at the Giants, basically, that came out. John Mara was making a joke about it, so I'm just trying to catch up here.
I'm very surprised Barkley didn't go for the record yesterday. That surprised me.
Sounds like it wasn't up to him.
Yeah, maybe not.
Here's what we know. OC requested Arthur Smith. That's confirmed. I'm seeing here from Jeremy Fowler. Joe Brady.
So Arthur Smith is going to be interviewed by the Jets? Is that what you're telling me?
Correct. We also have another GM request. The Jets requested a GM manager interview with Rams senior personnel executive Ray Farmer, who works closely with GM Les Snead throughout their draft process. I will say this, for a team that trades away a lot of their picks, the Rams have always found a way to hit on guys with non-first rounders.
Yeah. Puka Nacua comes to mind, whatever you say his name, right?
Puka Nacua?
Puka Nacua.
There you go.
Among others.
25 writes in, hell no to Arthur Smith or Ron Rivera as head coach. They hire Ron Rivera, Joe. What's the reaction?
No. And I don't want Arthur Smith and I don't want Ron Rivera. So I'm with 25 here.
Can I give you a counterpoint to Ron Rivera that has been brought up? You ready for this?
Can't wait.
Ron Rivera, you know how people have a reputation of being like a coach killer, right? Ron Rivera is actually an owner killer. When he's in Carolina, they eventually had an owner that sold the team.
And they got rid of Snyder.
And Washington. So if I tell you Ron Rivera is the Jet coach for 2 or 3 years, but that means at the end of it, Woody Johnson's gone, would that change your mind at all?
No. What are they going to do? They're going to change the name of the franchise too? What are they going to change that to?
The New York Titans. We're bringing it back.
Oh, yeah, great. That's good.
Mimosa maybe wants a Joe B helmet. How about a 5-spot of channel membership?
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
I'm telling you, Joe.
You got. I mean, the production that Jake does is second to none. I mean, I got to tell you, bro, it's unbelievable what you do.
Yes, but I'll say this, Joe. Out of all the things I could play, there's probably nothing better than this classic.
I hate this team. I hate them. I hate them.
What year was that?
I believe 2008, so not much has changed.
2008. Wow.
I believe this was after the collapse with Favre.
Let me just say this. I am an ugly bastard now, and I was an ugly bastard then.
Yeah, but not many people in their 70s, Joe, could do this.
Here it is. Little Victor Cruz dance. Oh, Victor. Woo. I'm doing a little salsa, baby. Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, the old man can still move. I mean, I still have a plethora of dance moves. That there's no question about that. I watched John Travolta on that great commercial he does when he's got the Santa Claus outfit on with Staying Alive, and he does that little dance at the end, Yep. Oh, my God. I mean, look, Travolta's, probably got more moves than me, but I'm not too far away, and he's the same age as me. So there you go. And he's another Italian guy from North Jersey, from Bergen County. So there you go.
Love that. This is actually interesting. I was going to bring this up to you. I'm glad Thoroughbred mentioned it. So Joe Namath tweeted last night that Aaron Rodgers should stay. Breece Hall retweeted Namath's comments. Your thoughts on Joe Willie wanting Rodgers back?
Joe Willie's right. Joe Willie's 100% right. I mean, of course he should stay. Look, this is the best quarterback play that we've had in years. Say whatever you want about this guy. This guy threw 28 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. He threw for almost 4,000 yards. Everybody wants to blame him for the 5-12. They don't want to talk about the owner dumping the coach after 4 games and the fact that we had no head coach from that point on. They don't want to talk about the kicker who killed us, who we thought was money in the bank. They don't want to talk about the defense that killed us. They just want to talk about Rodgers, and he stinks. And this is the best quarterback play we've had probably since Fitzpatrick had that year in 2009. It was 2009. I keep losing my train of thought with whatever year it was. So no, 2015, 2009.
Yep.
2015 was Fitzpatrick's year. Do you realize that only Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2015 and Vinny Testaverde in 1998 have thrown more touchdown passes in a year than Aaron Rodgers as a Jet? 31 for Fitzpatrick, 29 for Vinny. And he threw 28 in a bad year. And by the way, let me say this too. Garrett Wilson, for all his crying that they weren't throwing the ball to him, became the second Jet ever, only Brandon Marshall, to catch over 100 passes in a year. He went over 1,100 yards receiving and caught 7 touchdowns. Do me a favor, Garrett. Pipe down.
He's going to get extended too, at least.
Of course.
That's the move.
The only complaint he has is that the team doesn't win. That's what he wants to win. That's the bottom line. And he ain't going nowhere. You gotta extend Garrett Wilson. There's no question.
100%. And look, you could nitpick Rodgers' numbers, right? You could talk about how a third or a fourth of the touchdowns came against the Dolphins and the Jaguars, and I get all that. But if you're going to tell me move on from Rodgers, the conversation's got to be, what's the plan? Like, you could tell me I'm moving on from Rodgers. Right. Maybe he doesn't want to learn a new offense. Maybe he doesn't want to take a pay cut. Like, okay, but to me, the GM and coach got to be on board with that decision. It's why I'm glad Woody at least said publicly that he's going to let those guys decide. Like, because you even said it last week, Joe. You're like, you were indifferent if Rodgers is here. To me, it's all about the coach. I still think that's true, despite how well he played yesterday.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, the coach is a bigger deal, but I look, to me, if we're gonna be a competitive team next year that can win, okay. And I'm not talking about winning the Super Bowl, but who knows? But win. We still got a lot of players on this team. To me, Rodgers has got to be the quarterback. We're not getting better quarterback play, from Justin Fields or from J.J. McCarthy or from Tyrod Taylor. We're not getting better than what we got from this guy. And as I said, what will happen. He'll go somewhere else, and he'll be phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Hennessy says, Joe wants a former coach but doesn't like any of them.
No, that's not true. I told you the guys I like. Rex Ryan, Brian Flores, and Pete Carroll. Those are the guys.
All right. Well, there you go. I mean, that's
that's
it.
I gave you 3. And I don't want any new coordinator. I don't want that.
So Adam is writing in, says, Joe, every coach at some point was a first-time coach. You can't discount people just because they haven't yet been a head coach. Sometimes you take a risk on an unknown quantity. Yeah,
well, I'm tired of taking risks. And I think we're at the point now where you need somebody that's had experience coming in here, because we can't blow it again. I can't take another situation with Robert Saleh coming in here and stinking it up, or Todd Bowles, who, he's lucky he got the situation he got in Tampa. He got a pretty good team, and he got lucky with Baker Mayfield, But I can't deal with that again. I really can't. Look, maybe it would work. I don't know, but the chances are it won't.
I think that's the thing, right? It's you've tried the first time coach thing so many times that it just, to me, hire a guy that's done it before, so they're not learning on the job. Like, you can't have any faith in the Jets getting it right. How many times have they gotten it wrong? And to me, and we've talked about this a lot, this team is not bad because they don't have players. They're bad because of everything that went on with the coaching that played out this year. They could be a competitive team that's fighting for a playoff spot next year with the right coach.
Yeah. Look, Woody, the biggest mistake that was made was Woody firing Saleh. If they would have kept Saleh, look, I don't know if we're a playoff team. We certainly would have been better than 5-12. I do think that.
100%. If you're watching live right now, hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We're reacting in real time to some of the requests coming in. Arthur Smith, Joe Brady.
They have been all requested. This stuff here.
It's all happening. So if you want to write in a comment or question for Joe, today's the last chance to do it, as Joe has been nice enough to join us basically every Monday throughout the football season.
Some guy said, this is Stan from Westport. You look better now in great foot grip on a wet surface. What the hell does that mean? You know what that means?
Joe reading the private chat.
What the hell is that, Stan? Ask Stan what that means. Stan, give me an answer to that, because I don't know what does that mean? A great foot grip on a wet surface? Oh, you're talking about when I was dancing? Oh, that must be what he was talking about.
Oh, I see.
I got a lot of moves, but I told you this. The old man can move.
Yep.
Let's see. What else do we have? How many quarter? Well, I saw that one. Means be around. Pete Carroll was safe.
You're the only one who can see this, by the way, Joe.
But now, see, here's Stan answering the question that I just answered because you were dancing in the wet parking lot. There you go. Thank you, Stan. You know I love you, Stan.
Hunter says, Joe Brady looks soft. No thanks. Well,
yeah, I'm not crazy about Joe Brady. Unless he's bringing Josh Allen with him, no.
Super chat from JJ. Doug Peterson, multiple playoff wins, multiple division titles. If we can't get Vrabel, I want Doug P. You guys love Rex, so don't tell me nothing about Doug P.
Well, here's the problem with Peterson, and I just said that. I don't love the fact that he'd be going directly from one team to the next. Now, I told you that I would take Mike McCarthy, even though that would be the case with him as well. Look, I guess you could do worse than Doug Peterson, but it didn't really work out in Jacksonville, with that generational talent, Trevor Lawrence. You know what I mean? Generational. He's right up there.
Do you think Trevor Lawrence, with the right coaching, could do what Goff has done in Detroit as a former number one pick?
Goff is better than I thought he would be. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with Trevor. I don't know. Maybe.
King and Dreams wants a Joe B autograph. He is gifted 5 channel memberships, baby. You believe this, Joe?
No, I don't. I don't even want my autograph.
I'll tell you what, K&D, I'm playing this video just for you.
Disgusting franchise that masquerades themselves as an NFL football team. I hate this team. I hate them. I hate them.
Boy,
we like to call Jet Fan in Hell, a segment we do on the show, Joe.
What an ugly bastard. No, really. I mean, that's 2008. So how old was I then? That's 16 years ago. So let's see. I was a spry 55. I can't drive 55,
I think you look good, Joe. You're selling yourself short.
Yeah.
People love the handlebar stash. I mean,
I look at myself in the mirror and I can't believe it. I just look at, I'm 71. I'm like a faded relic. I mean, let's be honest.
You're going strong, Joe.
I'm slipping into darkness. The great song by War, Slipping into Darkness? Well, that's me.
Are you going to see the Bob Dylan movie that came out, by the way?
Yeah, I really should see it. Big fan of Bob Dylan's one of the greats of all time. I really should see it. Yes, I probably should.
Leany checks in. Joe B, you definitely look better now. Age like fine wine.
Boy, Leany, I don't know. It's good to hear that from women, but God bless you, Leany. Maybe your eyesight isn't too good either. I don't know. Thank you.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We're talking with Joe B. Going to wrap up with him here shortly. There's 1,200 people in here, Joe. I mean, for a disastrous season that I'd argue is the worst in my lifetime.
It's up there.
This fan base is great, and I'll continue to say it. The New York Jets franchise does not deserve how great the New York Jet fan base continues to be.
I mean, how much longer are we going to get hosed? I mean, how much longer is Woody Johnson going to basically, piss on us? I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. I mean, I don't know. You know what? The time is slipping on me, bro. So, you still have that extremely youthful glow. Maybe by the time you're like my age, you'll actually see a Jet Super Bowl win. You know what I mean?
How about a playoff appearance again? It's insane. It's insane.
I am convinced I will never see them again in a Super Bowl. I am convinced of that. Never.
If they're in the Super Bowl, I think I know the answer to this. No matter what, you're going, right? You're there.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain places I really wouldn't want to go, like California. You'd have to probably drop me in there. I hate the state of California for reasons that we won't get into. But, yeah. I mean, I would, hopefully it would be in Florida. And that would be the best place to go.
That would be excellent. There's no doubt about it. A couple super chats left for Joe here. Purple Belt Mike wants to know, Joe, what game was the salsa dance after last year? That was after the Giants game. You and I went with Kenny.
Oh my God. What did it, that was such that was such a classic day as we are leaving the stadium after having lost to this terrible Giant team. Didn't even have a coach. DeVito played that day, didn't he?
Because Tyrod got hurt in the first quarter. DeVito
That's right. Tyrod got hurt for the Giants. That's right. DeVito played. They basically handed off to Saquon the entire time. And then we're going down the escalator, getting the hell out of there. All we hear is, Gano missed the field goal. So now you and I are trying to run back, and they won't let us back in the stadium. So we're outside watching this on the big screen, and Zach Wilson probably had his finest moment as a Jet, leading, hitting Lazard for that big play to kick the field goal. And then Zerline, when he actually could make field goals last year, making that game winner for us. So, and then after that, we went right into the tank after that Giant game, by the way.
Dan writes in, Joe thinks it's bad. LOL. Show him Peter Castro videos. Well, if you want to,
now who's Peter Castro? Do I supposed to know that?
So Peter Castro is a big listener of this show, long-time suffering Jet fan, just like you. And well, he has plenty of Jet passion, but as you can see here, Joe, he does tend to struggle with getting names of coaching candidates correct.
We got to get rid of Yolbrick and then go after Gabriel first. Then I want Queensberry. Got to look at the monkey guy. I like Flonase, and maybe Slow Dick in Houston is the answer.
Okay.
A very unique ability to botch names. That is what Dan.
Well, I mean, shooting the gun and all of that, whatever he was doing there.
Last chance to get in here. Comments, questions, super chats for Joe. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Joe, as far as this season, you just referenced it. You said it's up there with one of the worst. For me, this has been the worst of my lifetime. I don't even think it's close.
I think we're in the worst. I think we're clearly in the worst stretch of our fandom. I mean, I thought the 70s was bad, but now we've gone 14 years without a playoff appearance. That's the longest drought we've ever had. So, they're pretty bad.
The pain of this season, though, like the losses, the way they lead the NFL in blown fourth quarter losses, plus the expectations. To me, it's like this has been the worst ever it's been. I'm curious what other year would even come close to this one that you've experienced.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The year after we lost the championship game in '98 was pretty bad too, because Bill just screwed it all up, because he stuck with Rick Meyer for far too long, and then finally went to Ray Lucas, and then we went on a big run, but it was too late to get into the playoffs. So that was pretty bad. There's been a lot of years where we choked too. With like the year after that with Al Groh. I mean, with 9-4 and we lose our last 3 games and don't get into playoffs, and Al Groh takes off for the Virginia job. I mean, there's been some moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the expectation level was high. Look, that's another reason why I think Rodgers needs to come back. I mean, he goes down after 4 plays in the first year. Then we have this terrible year this year where so many things conspire against the team that aren't his fault, even though the media wants to blame him for everything. I think we need one more year to try to right the ship. I do. I do. That's me. That's me.
Well, to me, it's just when you look back, right? You look at Rodgers' final numbers, right? And if I would have told you he would play 17 games and he would not miss one, right? Every game, and he would not miss one snap in these games due to injury. The only time he came out were in blowouts when Tyrod came in. Right, That's it. So,
and by the way, how about this too? And I'm glad you brought that up, because if you saw the paper the next day, on the front of the paper it says Rodgers benched in loss to Bills. They took him out after it was 40-0. I mean, it wasn't like they benched him in the second quarter, But of course, they got to make sure they get that. They want those digs in there on the guy. They love to dig him. You know what I mean?
100%. And it's just like if I would have told you the Jets would they either be 5-12 or 12-5. If I told you before the year started that Aaron would play in 17 games, not miss one snap due to injury, you would have been nuts if you said, "Oh, they went 5-12." If I told you they went 5-12, you would have assumed it's because Rodgers got hurt again. Right.
Yeah. And I think everybody would have signed for the numbers this guy wound up putting up. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, this was the best quarterback play we've had in years. Let's be real about it. Okay, let's be real about it.
100%. Well,
let's
Joe,
forget who the quarterback is and just look at the play the guy gave us. And he had bad moments. I mean, look, I'm not going to say that interception he threw to Leonard Williams in the Seattle game. He didn't have a great game against Denver going all the way back, but he got hurt in that game. He still played the whole game. You could get on him for the end of the Minnesota game. There's a lot of different areas that you could get on him. I mean, last week, obviously, he stunk. But come on. We really only had 3 games we got blown out all year. And that was, the San Francisco game, the Arizona game, and the game against Buffalo. That's it. every other game was certainly winnable. Every other one.
Agreed. And I really think, look, if he's open to learn a real offense, like they should be a run first team next year. Like they have, like Brees Hall had 0 games.
You got 3 guys that can run the ball. That's why if you bring Rex in, you're going to see a lot of ground and pound. He's got 3 guys that can run the ball. You're going to see a lot of ground and pound. Now we got to get Fassinu back and healthy. Okay. No doubt about that. But we got some young guys, Tipman, you got Vera Tucker, who basically played the whole year without an injury. The offensive line could be very good next year. Could be.
I got 4/5 of the line under contract and back. Yep. So they're not starting from nothing. It's very unique that they have an opening at GM and coach because there's actually talent on the team. That's why they got to get it right.
No question about it.
Joe, on behalf of everyone who tunes in every week, I can't thank you enough for coming on every week after these games, especially how brutal they have been. It has been awesome for the channel. So many of your Oh the Pain podcast listeners have become subscribers to my channel and vice versa for your podcast. So it has been awesome doing that podcast with you the day after the Jets beat the Patriots. Yep. Turned out to be the high point of the year. Man.
Yeah, it really did.
Unreal.
And by the way, let me just tell you, I wore my Rodgers jersey yesterday just in case it was the last time. So I wore it again yesterday. So I want to let you know.
Hey, you got to win with that jersey on. There you go.
And he got his best game of the year, too. So
there you go. Well, the Jets are undefeated to start 2025. How's that for a positive spin?
Well, they finished last year with a win, too, against the Patriots. So
yep, no doubt. Well, Joe, thank you again for coming on all season long. I look forward to this despite how brutal the year was. It's therapy for me. And if you would have told me years ago I'd get the chance to talk to you at every Jet game or be live on the air when the Jets would fire Robert Saleh like we were, or live on the air when they acquired Devontae Adams, I never would have believed you. So I can't thank you enough for being a part of the show.
Well, I told you, and when they do finally hire the head coach, I'll come on again that day or the next day, and we'll break that down.
Looking forward to it, Joe. Thank you for everything, and thank you to Terry behind the scenes setting all this up, making it happen as well.
Bro, all the love. God bless America. See you, baby.
All of it. The great Joe Benigno for the final time this Jet season in his weekly spot on the show. Hit the like button and make sure you are subscribed to this channel if you're one of the 1,200 people in here right now. We're close to 41,000 subscribers here. We have the biggest following on YouTube covering the Jets, and that will continue all throughout the offseason. Make sure you are subscribed, you hit the like button, and, of course, we will have another raffle coming up, most likely tomorrow. So today's the last day to get the membership to be in on that. I'm going to get to your calls on the Gusbuster hotline in a moment, but first, I want to play the clip yesterday that I found to be interesting. This is from Aaron Rodgers talking about his 2 seasons with the Jets. He spoke to the team during their meeting the night before the game, and this is Rodgers talking all about that.
I'd wanted to speak to the guys. Rick's been doing this cool thing where he allows a couple players and a coach to maybe speak, and sometimes one player, one coach. I had asked him earlier in the season if he was thinking about me, if he could allow me to do it at the end. I just kind of wanted to just talk to the guys about what the last 2 years has meant to me. I talked about my love for the game, my perspective and how it changed September 11th, 2023. And then I talked about the gratitude. You know, there was questions about over the last few months, some from you all, some from people that I talked to about, did I regret coming in New York? And the answer is, of course not. So the follow-up is usually, well, why is that the case? And I talked about what really is important in this game, and that's the relationships. And I talked about how if I hadn't come to New York, I wouldn't have met, and I singled out certain guys. You know, I wouldn't have been able to be locker mates with Javon Kinlaw and Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith, and wouldn't be able to, you know, been protected by John Simpson and what a great guy he is, and get to know the Williams brothers and get to watch these young stars early in their career, the Garretts and Sauce and Brees and Jermaine, and wouldn't have been able to be back with Nathaniel and be coached by Todd Downing and be in the room with Tyrod Taylor, one of the freaking coolest guys I've ever been around. I mean, just an absolute legend, so supportive. Wouldn't have been able to do any of that. And I would have had a big hole inside me that only these 2 years could have filled. So when I say these have been the best 2 years of my life, I don't just mean those relationships. Off the field, there's been a lot of really special things that have happened. But if I hadn't come to New York, these relationships that are really important to me, many of which are going to last for a long, long time, never would have happened, and I would have really missed out on meeting some really special people.
So there you have it from Rodgers yesterday. And while we're at it, here's Woody Johnson's brief comments yesterday. And he also did an interview in the New York Post exclusively with Brian Costello, where he talks way more than what you're going to hear from this cut.
Well, everybody thought this was going to, not just me, thought this was talented, but all the networks that are paying millions of dollars, they put us in 6 prime time. So everybody thought this was going to be unbelievable. So from that standpoint, yeah, we didn't live up to that early opinion of virtually everybody. But we ended up well, because I don't care about anything else, but a win at the end was good. And so we beat them today. They played well. They didn't give up. Everybody showed up, and we did some really nice things. So I'm proud of the guys.
We did some really nice things in Week 18 when it didn't matter. They got to go out there and get these hires right, man. I can't deal with it. Diana Rossini has tweeted, the New York Jets had a very sound plan and sent out their request for interviews first thing this morning. They're moving faster on these requests than any other team. Well, guess what? They should. They were the first to have an opening for both. They've had plenty of time to get ready to prepare for this. So let's go. Man. All right, here's what we know so far. All right, getting caught up on everything. Jets head coach interview requests so far. Aaron Glenn, Bobby Slowick, Joe Brady, Vance Joseph, Arthur Smith. I would imagine Liam Cohen will get an interview request. They just put in a request for Matt Nagy. I mean, they're talking to everyone. It's going to be nonstop. Vance Joseph. I mean, come on now. Also, you want the full list? I have it right here. This is from Nick Faria. Alec Hallerby, the Eagles GM, assistant GM. Mike Berganti, Chiefs assistant GM. Ray Farmer, Rams, personnel executive. And then head coach-wise, Glenn, Slowick, Brady, Joseph Smith. They've already interviewed Ron Rivera and Mike Vrabel. They'll talk with Rex tomorrow. We're talking to everybody, baby. When's Jeff Ulbrich going to get an interview? He's got a legit chance to get the job. Man. I like the process. I mean, talk to as many people as possible. I think it's a good thing. Someone wrote in, time for a sexy Rexy video. That's from Jay. I'll tell you what, someone gives some memberships. I can be persuaded. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. I'm going to post the Gusbuster hotline link in the chat. And if you want to call in and be a part of the conversation, you certainly can. By the way, Matt Nagy can interview with the Jets this week if he wants, because the Chiefs had the bye. So they can actually do an in-person conversation with him, I believe. I mean, does anyone want Matt Nagy? I know I certainly don't, but he does have experience. He did go to the playoffs twice, too, with Trubisky. That's not nothing. I don't know. I don't think he was a great coach. They get a lot of talent on some of those Bears teams. Ladies and gentlemen, to your calls we go. First up on our Gusbuster Umbrella hotline this morning is Kyle Clifton. What's up, Kyle?
I like Matt Nagy.
You do?
I do.
Are you a Nagy truther? Is that fair to say?
I'm a Nagy truther. I want to be the first to proclaim that on this channel.
Congratulations. You got the gig.
It's a dubious distinction at best. So a couple of things. Did we see again yesterday at the end of year 2, Joe Tippmann is doing a couple of these lollipop snaps. I think Joe Tippmann is a hell of a blocker. I think that he's got a lot of talent. I love his size. I love his grit. I love his determination. But the snaps continue to be a problem at the end of year 2.
I mean, did it really impact him in any way, though?
No, but I mean, if we want to get to where we want to be, I don't think any quarterback wants to be concerned about whether they're getting the snap in the traditional manner or if it's going to be something that's kind of floating up in the air that they need to grab.
It, but he also graded out as one of the best centers in the league this year. He gave you top 10 center performance in year.
Just something to be watched, and it's something that's been kind of weighing on me a little bit. Another thing.
So you start this call with being a Nagy truther and then complaining about Joe Tippmann.
I'm changing it up. It's the off season, Jake.
I like it, man. Look, I got a lot of time to fill, so I'm in.
Another thing. Looking at the Mayo Vrabel New England situation. If you're really concerned about ownership stability, do you really want to go into a place where they groomed a guy for 5 years, hired him, only kept him for 1, and then fired him when the hot candidate became available? It's almost like that's a test if Vrabel's really concerned about ownership stability, right? Like, I understand that Vrabel is a highly desired candidate, but like I think that at some degree ownership stability is kind of an overstated thing. If you believe that Woody does mostly stay out of the day-to-day operations, and that maybe that there were a couple of quotes that were taken out of context, and you don't necessarily believe the athletic reporting based on, the Rodgers being benched when he was hurt, and there was a comment that was made that was misinterpreted. Like, I think that it's going to come down to whether he's comfortable with the organization, and obviously he's comfortable with Kraft and the Patriots, right? And the amount of control he's given and the amount of money that he's given, and everything else is kind of out the window. If he's able to be convinced that Woody is going to stay out of his business, and we pay him the most money and we give him the most control, I think he'll be the New York Jets head coach.
I don't think it's crazy. I think it's unlikely. I'm not going to sit there and
predict it's significantly less likely than it was the other day.
I don't think that it is as big of a shoo-in as some said. And by the way, that doesn't mean that he wouldn't go to a team that's not the Jets or New England. Like, I still think Jacksonville could be appealing to him. I still think that the Bear job could be appealing.
The Bear job could be appealing to him,
like,
for sure.
I don't think it's just Jets or New England for Vrabel. He's going to have other interviews, and New England can't just hire him immediately if they wanted to. They got to fulfill the Rooney Rule.
He's gonna choose from the best openings, and to me, that's probably and in no particular order: the Jets, the Bears, and the Patriots. I think those are the top 3 that you would look at. And then
here's the other reason why, if you're not sold on Vrabel, though, you got to get on board.
Would you cut your dick off for a Super Bowl?
Oh, been married 20 years. Yeah, probably.
You've got 3
as a player.
I mean, that's what the Jets need. They need that mentality.
That's something, that's for sure.
Why do you think a guy named Woody Johnson wants Mike Vrabel so bad? He saw that and was sold.
There we go. The last thing is, I know we're trying to cast a wide net, and I'm encouraged by some of the candidates that they've mentioned for GM and head coach, and then I'm wildly discouraged by some of the other when we talk about Slowick and Vance Joseph. Unlike someone like Joe, I think that Doug Peterson, at least you have to talk to based on his resume and the fact that he's accomplished so much in the league. But some of these other guys like Vance Joseph, I think someone else can give him a shot. I think Bobby Slowick, I don't see it. I don't see that the Texans offense is something that we need to emulate here when we have players in the middle of their rookie contract.
No, the Texans fans would be celebrating him getting hired elsewhere because he has done a horrendous job this year.
All right. That's all I had, Jake. Thanks for your time.
Kyle, thank you as always, man. Good call to start us off. I just put the link to my Twitter account here. Give me a follow there if you haven't. Appreciate everyone out there. Also, Instagram at Jake Asman as well. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Raffle will be tomorrow for our grand prize of the Jet Mini helmet. For our other major prizes, the New York Jets Super Bowl III Joe Willie Namath replica ring, the Jet winner hat, and after his 4-touchdown performance yesterday, all of a sudden more people want it, and I can see why. The Aaron Rodgers throwback jersey, all those prizes and more are on the line in our raffle, which will once again be tomorrow on the program. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We are presented today by my friends at Mando.
Here we go. Introducing Lumi for men, and we named him Mando. The whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to block odor all day and controls odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, between your butt cheeks. So here's the odor controlling math. 12 hours after a shower with soap, the average armpit and nether region had an odor score of 8 and 5 out of 10. 12 hours after a shower with soap and applying Mando, those odor scores were 0. How do you like them apples?
Look, it's very simple, all right? The Jets stink, but you don't need to stink, all right? So if you use Mando deodorant like I've been using now for months, you won't smell anymore. 72-hour odor-resistant deodorant. And I'm giving you guys $5 off their starter pack with promo code Asman at shopmando.com. Stick deodorant, spray deodorant. Also, can't forget about the other types of deodorant opportunities they have for you. The acidified body wash for all you smelly people to use in the shower. You won't smell anymore. You'll smell nice. Don't smell like Bobby Midnight before he started taking care of himself. Smell like me after I started using Mando. Whole body deodorant. Promo code Asman. Shopmando.com. Get yourself the starter pack. A huge shout out to my friends at Mando for being a sponsor of the Jake Asman Show. Don't smell like the Jets. Smell good. Shopmando.com. Promo code Asman. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Alex in D.C. who's next. What's up, Alex?
What's going on, man? Snowed in. I'm at work, but it's snowing pretty bad out here. So
I haven't looked outside the window yet. Is it snowing in New York City today? I know you're in D.C., but
I'm in D.C., but I don't. That's what I was gonna ask. I didn't know if it was, but yeah, I'm here, man. I work in a central job, so no days off for me. But reason why I'm calling is because the Vrabel news. I'm sorry, the Patriot news. I think that throws a huge wrench in Vrabel. I think it's not going to happen. I know you're a big Vrabel guy. I called last time. I was a big Gruden guy.
I like Gruden, by the way. I mean, I'm not high on him as some of the other potential options, but I definitely would interview him.
I'm starting to shift on that, not because I don't want him, but it seems like the residue of that cancel culture stuff is still there, and I don't know if he's going to get a job. I haven't heard anything about him interviewing or anything like that. Like I just saw on Twitter, Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith, they requested, Alex. Alex, your internet, we can't hear you. That was interesting. Like his mic just stopped working. Alex, call back. We'll get back to you. Refresh your browser. Thomas writes in, if not Vrabel, give me Rex. Look, I like Rex. He's not in my top 3 right now. He's not. I just Rex is not being interviewed for any other job besides the Jets. That doesn't raise any red flags for you. V-Man gifted a membership. V-Man, you're in on the raffle. Appreciate you gifting a membership to someone. Let's say hello to Stan from Westport is next. What's up, Stan?
Hey, it's great to see you. I can attest that you don't smell after sitting next to you at the Hackensack Brewery.
Thank you. I had plenty of Mando on that night.
So it's good, yeah. It was great to see Joe always, of course. And, I know he wears his heart on his sleeve for sure. Look, I just think if you break down the coaching realistically, as far as Gruden and Flores, as I understand it, I think there's still active plaintiffs in lawsuits against the NFL. So I don't know that Woody, being a company man, is going to take them, that seriously, given the legal actions they're both involved in for different reasons, but they're still in lawsuits, right? Obviously, Vrabel with Jared's departure yesterday puts him up there. I'm still coming back to Aaron Glenn, and I'll tell you why. If you analyze the season, Jake, what was the biggest failing of the year? And to me, it was the defense, right? The defense was highly regarded preseason, vaunted to be one of the best in the league, and they way underperformed. We have to say that, don't you think? I mean, if the defense was righted I think the Jets would have won more games. Yes, of course, a couple of field goals. I mean, if you really think about it, this team as it is right now at year-end roster, leaving Sauce IR out of the picture, but who's on the roster really is not a terrible team. I put this post in. It's the best team for a bad record in Jets history, if you really think about it, because they shouldn't have been like this.
No,
this was a playoff
They should have been
team.
a lot better. 100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
I mean, look how many times they were favorites in games this year. If you just go based off that, what's the record, you know?
Yeah. So the two things I come away with are you've got the players, the wide receivers are good. The running backs are good. The offensive line, as the previous caller just said, they've come around. You know, Aaron Rodgers had a really good game. If you look at all the NFL quarterback performances yesterday, he's up there. He's one of the top performances of the day. So, you know, it's not that. If the defense could be playing to potential, even median potential, they'd be a playoff team. So Aaron Glenn being a great defensive player, and now I think what he did yesterday against the Vikings is a huge endorsement for him. He held them to 3 field goals. That's all they got. And he shut down Darnold. Darnold was like 18 for 41 for like 166. You know, he totally had a good game plan on defense. And that was a big game for both teams. So to me, he should be in the lead.
I like it. I'm very weary of first timers. You know, I want experience. I get it. Aaron Glenn, I think, is an outstanding candidate. Brian Flores, though, I would lean with because he's got more coaching experience to fall back on. And I also like the fact that he's a Brooklyn guy that hates the Dolphins. But I mean, look, he's an attractive candidate. There's no doubt. I'm very weary of a guy that's first time learning on the job and being eaten alive in this market. That's my big concern.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see. Always the best. Thank you for the show and all the love, as Joe says.
All the love, Stan. Appreciate you as always. Hit that like button for Stan. Good call by him. We still got over 1,000 in here right now. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and make sure you gift the channel membership or send in a $20 super chat for your chance to win some prizes.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Salem says, I would love Gruden for the content. Me too. Space Ghost with the super chat. Right now it's Glenn, Rex, Flores, Rabel, or Munkin. I don't know if they're even going to request Munkin, but I would. He's done a great job there as the Ravens OC. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Johnny Boy. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, what's going on, Jake? Happy New Year, bro.
Can we still say that on January 6th? I feel like we missed the cutoff.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't seen you since last year, so, you know, just want to wish you a good New Year.
All right.
But I want to talk to you in regards of the Vrabel situation and him supposedly it's like a lock to go over there to the Patriots. I don't think it is, just like what you've been saying in regards to that, because I think maybe they made this move for maybe Ben Johnson and the appeal of having a Drake May as a quarterback and to be able to go ahead and utilize that too. Because, I mean, not for nothing, the Patriots defense is not that bad, man. They got some tools and stuff like that, and I could see him going over there. And do I hope he has a crappy ass time when he goes to the Patriots? Of course, because I hate the Patriots and everything. But I think Vrabel's still in play, man. Because for myself, why would Vrabel want to go and be under again Bill Belichick's shadow? I would say if he takes that head coaching job over there. And then last night, Aaron Glenn, man, his stock went up, bro, in that game within itself. I mean, I still want Flores. Of course, I'm still a Flores guy. I've been rocking with him since the time that we heard that Flores is a possibility. But I wanted to get your thoughts in regards to that as well, man. So appreciate you, Jake.
I like Aaron Glenn, Johnny. I just don't want a first-timer. I think Aaron Glenn's going to be a finalist, though. I mean, I can already see it now. They'll be like, oh, he's a Parcells guy, and he has a scouting background in addition to a coaching background. And, you know, Woody knows him from when he was with the Jets the first time around, and they're scouting. I like Aaron Glenn. He feels like Robert Saleh 2.0 to me. It's not fair to him, but I don't want to deal with it. I also don't like that Ted likes Aaron Glenn so much. So by default, I have to not like it because Ted just bothers me. He's a pot stirrer. Ted.
Aaron isn't as committed as a lot of the young guys. He's not going to sit and watch game film all weekend. And I think he's aging faster than other guys.
Hit the like button. Your comments, questions, and super chats. Ben Johnson could go to New England, by the way. I do think it's a possibility, Johnny. It's not crazy. And then all of a sudden, if Vrabel's out there, I think he'd pick the Jets. Like, if you're Ben Johnson and you're serious about a job, you're going to be in on New England if you think Drake May's really good. Why is Ben Johnson only connected to the Bears, who play in a brutally tough division and have to face his old team twice a year? Maybe Ben Johnson goes to New England. We hope he's Gase 2.0, and then the Jets get Vrabel. Boom. Ricky NY is next. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, how's it going, Jake?
What's up, Ricky?
You know what? Yeah, I've been on the Aaron Glenn thing for a while now.
You love Aaron Glenn, I know.
I don't know. Not sure when Ted started with the Aaron Glenn. As I recall, he had a different candidate in mind a few weeks ago. But the thing with Aaron Glenn is yesterday somebody said that we only like Glenn because he's a former Jet, and actually said that the Lions defense isn't that good, which I completely disagree with both of those things. Yes, he's a former Jet, but that's not the attraction as far as I'm concerned. The thing about that is he takes this whole thing very personal. Just like Rex, he loves the Jets. He wants to be the one to turn this thing around. And as far as their defense not being any good, like, dude, he had a backup cornerback playing last night that held Justin Jefferson catchless after halftime. That guy, and coaching has been one of our biggest problems here. Well, Aaron Glenn coached and schemed his way around injuries all the way to the number 1 seed last night. Aaron Glenn is exactly the kind of no-nonsense coach I think we need. You know, listening to some of his clips from Hard Knocks, I heard him telling the guy, you know, people aren't perfect. Everybody's going to make mistakes, but we're damn sure not going to make the same mistakes twice, which is something that our guys did a whole bunch. And you know, I keep hearing people say that they don't want a first-time head coach, and I get that, but I think that so much of this fan base is so scarred from what this team has put us through that we're tentative on everything, and that's the wrong way to go about it. Like, we shouldn't make decisions based on fear. Okay, Dan Campbell was a first-time head coach, unless you want to count the interim time in Miami. McVay and Shanahan were first-time head coach. I'm not saying Glenn's going to be any of those, but he's worked in our scouting department, so he knows it from scouting. He knows it from coaching. He knows how to operate things from top to bottom, and he intimately knows this organization and the problems we've had.
Fair. All your
think
points are fair. I am just irrationally worried about a first-timer coming in here in this situation. This is not a job for first-timers, Ricky. That's my thing. Aaron Glenn might be awesome. He also could be Robert Saleh.
Yeah, you know what? But I was listening to Connor Rodgers the other day, and he said that Aaron Glenn might just be one of those rare guys who's actually better cut out to be a head coach than a coordinator. And if you haven't listened to that Badlands thing with Joe Caporoso and Connor Rodgers, they've made some really good points about Aaron Glenn. And like I said, I don't think we should overlook a very qualified, very good candidate just because we're scared. Like,
Agreed.
This ain't the time to be scared.
Agreed. I would prefer guys with experience versus a defensive coach. I would. Like, if you're going to hire the first timer, hire Joe Brady, hire Liam Cohen. Give me the offensive guy at least. Let's try something different.
Yeah, but well, you know what? I get it. I get it. But you know, picking a head coach is kind of like picking a woman. You know, I like experience as well. But you know what? There's some people who are just a natural, experience or not.
True.
So I'm all on board for the Aaron Glenn thing. You know, I think that would be the right move for this organization for a number of reasons. And I just hope they don't drop the ball on that and they get it done. Go Jets.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Ricky NY, who since he figured out how to call in from his phone, his internet connection continues to be revolutionary. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
The New York Jets have requested a head coach interview with 49ers quarterback coach Brian Griese, according to Adam Schefter. Add him to the list of possibilities. The Jets have basically requested any known candidate out there, but this is the first guy that I don't know anyone who's talking about him. Wrong verb. I think Ben Johnson's actually the Pats target. I think he'd make more sense than Vrabel, honestly. Hennessy says, agree with Ricky. Move over. I'm on the Glenn train. Look, if they hire Aaron Glenn, I won't love it, but I'm also not going to sit here and not give him a chance or root for the guy. I'm a Jet fan. And I love Aaron Glenn, the player, and I loved him on Hard Knocks when you got a chance to kind of see his inside look on how he coaches. I just have my concerns. I do. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get an up-close perspective on the coach search right now.
I got my eye on you, Jay. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, Jake.
Hello, David.
This will lead all into the coaching search. You know, this is a time of year where we can play general manager and discuss all this stuff. I'm certainly not giving up on Vrabel. I still think we might have a chance, even with what has transpired in the last day or two. But Joe Benigno, respect his Jets knowledge and his opinion. As far as the growth on his face, way back when, my all-time hero Joe Namath, he had grown one of them, and they called it the Fu Manchu. And they were picking on the Jets back then. They called him a hippie and a communist and all that kind of stuff. But his agent said the only reason he grew it because the chicks dug it.
Yeah.
So that's probably why Joe Benigno is getting the lady callers, and giving him compliments.
I see. I think you're onto something, David.
Yeah. And then and as of last night, I thought maybe Aaron Rodgers was going to retire, and then I seen the thing Joe Namath said, and I'm like, I feel about Joe Namath like, my favorite movie, Hoosiers, Gene Hackman. What I say is the law. So anyway, so it leads into what intrigues me, and like I said, I still think we got a chance at Vrabel yet, but Mike McCarthy. I mean, if they would be willing to reunite, and can't Mike McCarthy develop a young quarterback? Hasn't he done that in the past?
Has he developed a young quarterback? I mean, not really. I mean, he had Rodgers at the beginning of his career, but I don't know. Are we giving McCarthy credit for that? Or Aaron Rodgers is an all-time great.
Well, yeah. Okay. So my question. When did McCarthy coach Favre at all?
Yeah, he had Favre. He had Favre his last year.
Okay. So then he had Aaron Rodgers, in the wait. So I'm sure that might have been contributing to the development of Aaron Rodgers. But no, like you said, maybe Aaron Rodgers, you got to give him all the credit for it. But anyway, I'm just intriguing to me. Mike McCarthy, and I remember when he interviewed with the Jets and everything, and he was so humble, and then he was so glad to get the Cowboys job, and I think he's done a bang up job. So that's just what I have on my mind.
How's the eye today, David?
The eye's doing a heck of a lot better. Yep. Like I said, once the season's over, as my doctor told me, you're going to start seeing things a little more clearly, and you're going to have a boatload of optimism with the Jets.
I'll tell you what. I believe you, David. You're the best.
I got my Iron New J. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hit the David T emoji if you're a channel member. Comments, questions, super chats will continue to cut the line around here, plus help me pay the bills. We say hello to Sergi, who's next. What's up, Sergi?
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
What's up, Sergi? Nice hat.
Yesterday at the stadium.
I love it.
Thanks. Yeah, so about that. So I was at the game yesterday, and Rodgers threw the touchdown to Conklin, basically right in front of us. We were in 131. It was the vibe in the stadium yesterday was like almost like a preseason game. And like nobody, it was like it was more of a hang versus like everybody watching the game. It was a lot of chatter. And it was really weird not to hear the Jets chant, like really coordinated. I made once or twice, and that was basically it. It was,
Yeah, it's because they got rid of Ed on the screen. It's terrible.
It's noticeable. I haven't been in a game. This is the first game I've been to this year. I didn't go last year, and it's definitely noticeable. So that's one. And also a ton of Dolphin fans. A ton of Dolphin fans that were there yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, they showed up. Regarding the coaches, I was listening to Badlands. They were saying how like Vrabel is leveraging the Jets to get the Patriots job because his camp put it out that the conversation went so well that they fired Mayo because of it. I don't know if I buy that. I obviously I'd be really happy with Vrabel. Glenn would be great. Just I think I don't understand. This is what I want to call about. I don't understand the fascination with Gruden at all. Like I don't get it. I do not want him under no circumstance. He was not doing the last time around, and his records were his best record was at 8-8 on his third year when he was there. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think if Gruden had control of personnel, no thank you. If Gruden was the coach and you hired a GM that actually could pick the players, you could do a lot worse. He's an offensive guy. I think he's a culture setter. Guys will play for him. I have questions about, what they would do at quarterback, what his staff would look like, but we'll never know how his last year in Oakland or I guess Vegas would have played out. They were 3-2. He had to resign after the email thing, and they ended up being a playoff team that year. So who knows?
Who knows is right. I mean, listen, my 2 cents is that it's going to be a circus if he's there. And if we're signing up for a circus, I'd rather have Rex than Gruden. I think he's actually a Jet still, so I don't know. That's me. But just at the end of the season, we made it. And now our season really starts, the off season, when we win every year.
Yeah. Let's go, David. Let's go. You know it. I know it. That's what it's all about.
Thanks, Jake. Have a good one.
Soji, thank you, man. Appreciate the call. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the Gusbuster hotline is...
Women. Hey, Jake.
Rob, how are you?
Happy New Year, buddy.
It's January 6th. It doesn't count anymore.
No? I figured I'd try.
I appreciate it.
I don't know, Jake. I am really distraught now after hearing, obviously, the news. We haven't spoken since, but the news of, them New England firing Mayo, and now the probability of possibly Vrabel going to New England is very sickening. I mean, I was just could not wait until we signed Vrabel. I mean, I had like a smile from ear to ear, and now the probability is not looking good. I mean, are you thinking less than 50-50? What's your take?
Yeah, I think he likely goes to New England. I don't think it's as big of a lock as some have portrayed it, though.
So you think there's still a chance that he could?
I do. Yeah, I think the Jets probably have like a 20 or 25% chance.
I hope so, Jake. I mean, if not, then I tell you, I guess I would probably think Flores, just because he's that type of a Bill Parcells, no-nonsense type of coach.
Also, I'm not going to be distraught about it, by the way. Like, I'm as big of a Vrabel guy as anyone, but there's like other good coaches that are out there that could be good too. They just got to, I think it makes it harder because I think you already know you have a good coach in Vrabel. But you told me the Jets hired Brian Flores. I think I'm going to be excited about that hire.
I'd be okay with that too. I'm with you there. I just wouldn't be if all of a sudden they hired like Aaron Glenn or something. Oh no, please no.
I like Aaron Glenn. I don't want a first-time defensive-minded head coach. I don't. It's not fair to him, but it's just like I'm using the history of the Jets against him. It's unfortunate.
No, yeah, we can't have that, Jake. I mean, we got to have someone who knows what they're doing at the very, very minimum. And even Rex Ryan, I don't think I would be too gun-ho about Rex Ryan. But they got to have someone who knows what they're doing. They got to stop the nonsense. This team is in a position where, to be honest with you, Jake, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm not totally disliking it, is going to Minnesota and at least inquiring about J.J. McCarthy. I mean, if he costs us a number 1 draft pick, why not? Why wouldn't you throw a dart on him? Because if he was coming out this year, everyone says that he would be the number 1 pick anyway. So why wouldn't you throw a number 1 pick his way? He had 1 year to learn behind Darnold. So that should make him in that regard closer to start. I would definitely throw a number 1 pick at him. If not, then hopefully that guy coming out from Penn State, Aller, I wouldn't mind Drew Aller from Penn State. Let him sit for a year. But I don't know about the probability of Aaron Rodgers coming back. Probably not. It's probably not going to happen. He did have a great game yesterday. It was a nice way at least to end his career with the Jets. It was nice to see. But if he had come back and he can teach one of these guys for a year, I wouldn't be opposed to it, of course. You know, I'm one of the minority who probably still wants him back, Aaron Rodgers. But, I know Benigno and obviously Fireman Ed want him back also. I don't know where you left off, if you're on the fence or if you're against it. What was your last verdict after the very last game?
I want the next GM and head coach to decide. I think if Aaron's back, I have stipulations. They got to be 1, they want him back. He wants to be back. 2, they have a new offensive scheme that he's on board with. And 3, he takes a massive pay cut, so there's no dead cap issues for 2026.
So all that happens, then you would be okay with it?
Yeah, because I think where are you finding a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers? I think Aaron Rodgers is better coaching. This team wins way more than 5 games.
I mean, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, excuse me. I know there's a lot of eye test involved. I get it. But overall, if this is the worst season for a Jet quarterback, not half bad. I mean, he did have his moments that he looked like the old Aaron Rodgers. For me, Jake, you know what it was? It really seemed like he started to get healthy really towards the end of this year. Not so much in the beginning where he got bent like a pretzel in the Minnesota game or the Denver game, but towards the end, you were starting to see a little bit of the old Aaron Rodgers, starting to say, wow, this resembles Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but the problem is he going to be able to be healthy throughout next year at age 41, going on 42 now? I don't know. That's the question. I mean,
you're right.
He could stay healthy, but he's going to take hits at some point. How does he respond? Like, the O-line's going to be better on paper next year than it is this year. You have Olu for a full year at left tackle, but I don't know.
Well, it's kind of like what you said, Jake. If that's the case, then he's got to take all those hits of reducing his salary and everything. And it has to be the decision of our next GM and our next coach saying, hey, you know what? Okay, we're taking you back for 1 year, but this is what's got to happen. And if he's good with it, then I want to run it back, and I don't want to hear people really cry about it. Just let it happen and let the process, take form. And
well, speaking of crying, it sounds like you were crying about Mike Vrabel.
I was. I'm not happy about it at all. I have to say the truth, Jake. It's killing me. It's killing me that now it doesn't look like a probability that we're going to get him. Now I see why you were so hell-bent on beating the Patriots. When I was saying, well, Jake, Belichick is gone and Brady's gone, you were like, I don't care. The fans, the ownership, I still hate that organization. Now I get it. You're 100% right about
it. It took that moment for you to get why me, as a diehard fan of the Jets, would hate the Patriots, Rob.
But all those guys were gone. That's why.
Who cares? It's still the same owner. Their fans suck. I hate them all.
Yeah,
I hope they all burn.
Yeah. Burn is right. Those bastards. They always seem to stick a needle up our crawl, these assholes. But I don't know, Jake. Hopefully Hopefully Vrabel's still in sight. If not, then I'm going to go second choice. I'm going Flores. I think Flores will be my next move.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob from Glenhead.
Pornhub.
Thank you, Rob. Super chat from Papa Jet, baby. A 20 spot. Oh, yeah. Boom. Bang! Bang! I agree with Ricky. First timers don't scare me. Everyone laughed at Detroit when they hired Dan Campbell, and he wasn't even an OC. Looks pretty good now. I do understand your reasoning, Jake. I get it. They hire Glenn. I'm not going to sit here and say, no. My reaction is going to be, I don't love it. Just telling you now. That is going to be my reaction. Look, to me, it feels like a big risk. Could it work? Sure. It also could be Todd Bowles or Robert Saleh. Mike writes in, thoughts on Joy Taylor. I'll give you my thoughts.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Allegedly. I'll leave it at that. Brandon writes in, Jake yesterday, Mike Vrabel, top 10 coach in football. They need to hire him and give him full control. Let him pick his own GM. Yeah, I still agree with all that. I do. Brandon, Jake today, it's whatever. It's not it's whatever. I'm simply not going to be distraught like Rob was and say, oh my God, they can't get Vrabel. It's over. Like, there's other good coaches out there. I think my frustration is he'd be a perfect fit for the Jets, and you know he's a good coach. Now, we don't know any other guys out there what they're going to be. There's other good candidates, but I think Vrabel was, to me, clearly the best guy. And Brandon, for your snarkiness, I don't appreciate it. Farewell. Ciao. We'll see you later.
I'm going to stick my whole fist up your ass.
Facts. Adrian says, what do you think of Doug Peterson? As an OC, sure. As a head coach, no, thank you. I don't even know if he's a good OC at this point, but definitely not a head coach. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. We have some breaking news. Brian Flores has been requested by the Jets. Good. That's the guy if you can't get Vrabel. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Flonase, as he's known as. The Jets have requested him, according to Albert Breer. More calls right now. Southass is on the line. What's up, Southass?
Hey, Slow Dick isn't coming in for an interview, is he?
They have requested Slow Dick.
Oh, shit. Well, regardless, yesterday I strapped up the Aaron Rodgers jersey, kind of had a reflection moment, like, it's probably could be the last game. Try to enjoy it. You know, might be the last time in a year we see 4 touchdowns in a game. You know, I don't know how often.
I mean,
how often we saw that before
this year. Like, let's not act like they're just going to be like plug someone in that's automatically going to do better or even come close. We know how bad it could be.
It's been terrible. At least we got to see some bombs and Hail Mary. I mean, I want to win, obviously, but try to look at the bright side. I told my girl, you know, on that play where he scrambled in and threw it to Conklin, or the last one where he threw it to Devontae where he could have ran it in. I told her Zach Wilson would have held on to that ball, got pummeled, fumbled it. Miami would have ran it 99 yards for a touchdown the other way. So it's just, I don't know, man. Just tried to enjoy it for what it was, you know. It was nice kicking the Dolphins' ass.
I'm with you, man. I mean, and it didn't cost them in the draft.
One spot. The whole
honestly,
game, I didn't know.
The bigger blow is the last place schedule aspect, but am I going to freak out that they're playing the Giants over the Cowboys now? Like, it's all when you play. Like, Dak Prescott got hurt this year. Like, you never know, like, what teams are going to be like when you play them. It's a year-to-year league, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
The focus for the Jets should be getting the GM and coaching hire right, and then going from there. That's all that matters. But I'm with you. It was nice to see a win yesterday. Now I'll say this: Bobby Midnight was in the chat before South End, but I don't know. Maybe he saw you were calling in, and he's boycotting my show once again.
Oh, why? He hasn't been calling in. He just sang me happy birthday the other day.
So I just want to make sure you guys are on the same page. You guys are good?
Yeah, we're cool.
All right, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I haven't heard from Bobby today, so I thought maybe his his South End senses were tingling.
No, he sang for me the other day and apologized and whatever. I still watch. I don't catch them all live, and I like to catch the beginning. So if I jump in live, I miss the beginning, but then I can't call, so I'm like, fuck. But yeah, man, every day you're a good part of you get me through the day, all this stuff I got going on. I appreciate it. Keep doing your thing, and I don't know. We'll see about the coach. It sucks about the Patriots firing Mayo. He changed his profile picture back to his Patriots gear. Is that true?
Yeah, like an old photo of him as the.
Oh, these guys are so corny with the social media, man. Oh boy, but yeah, hopefully. Also, here's one other thing. I didn't watch the tape, but I highly
Ben
doubt.
Johnson interviewing for the Patriot job, so maybe they hire him over Vrabel, and then Vrabel's available. By the way, how come no one's bringing that?
I'd love that. I'd love that. I mean, Ben Johnson's got the superstars over there. I could call plays for them, So it's like, but anyways, the tape I didn't watch. I highly doubt Ramsey had Wilson clamped all day, though. I mean, so I just don't understand the talk, like forcing it to Devontae, bro. I don't know. He played well, but it's still very obvious who he's going to,
Yeah, and look, Devontae's still really good. I just think there needs to be more of a focus to get Garrett Wilson the football.
As good as they were yesterday, I mean, get this man the ball. Like, what are we doing?
I know, but hey, when you win, Garrett's not going to say anything bad post game. He was happy.
I know. I didn't see him really too much in on the celebrations after the touchdowns, but I'm just probably looking into it. I want to keep our young stars. We haven't had young stars, man. Last young star, Revis on my wall. That's it. It's like, so especially wide receiver. But yeah, bro, I won't keep you too long. You doing another show today or no?
Oh, of course, man. This is my second show I've already done today. It's not even noon yet. I don't stop. I will never stop, South Ass. I'll keep going.
Hell yeah, bro. Much love, bro. Like Joe B says, all the love. And we need Fireman Ed on the screen, man. I'm sick of this shit. Get the Jets, bro. When I was a kid, Jets. Jets. What are we doing, man? I heard it in the kickoff. I hear J-E, and it just gets drowned out. I go, oh, that place is rocking. You don't even hear the TS. Bro, it's bullshit, bro. Come on.
Hell yeah.
Everyone else has their thing. So let's get it together, man. Let's go. Jets, bro. Happy New Year.
South End, appreciate you, man. Great call. I'm being told Bobby Midnight is boycotting the channel because I didn't let him speak to Benigno. We didn't take calls with Joe. We try to get to as many comments as possible. If Bobby Midnight is boycotting me over Joe Benigno, then this might be the end of my relationship with Bobby Midnight. I don't know if we can recover from such a thing. Hollywood Bobby has taken it too far. Hennessy writes in, breaking news, Jets request Coach Klein, Waterboy. Sure, why not? Jedaholic, thoughts on players not liking Flores. I don't believe that to be true. Go ask any Vikings players how they feel. I think the guy was a hard ass his first time around. And I think that he'll have to answer for that, but he deserves another chance. He had 3 years in Miami. The first year they were supposed to be the worst team in the league. They told him to tank. He refused to do it. They were 5-4 over their last 9. They won 5 games. His second year, they were 10-6. His last year, they were 9-7. He had a year under Tomlin, now 2 years under Kevin O'Connell. I think it's a great situation he's been in and learned from. I like that he has been under 2 of the best coaches in the league. He's seen how to handle a young quarterback. I think he deserves a chance. He was a good coach the first time around, despite the issues with him and Tua. You don't think he's going to learn from his experience? I know I always learn from my experiences. I think he did too. He would need to get his OC hire right because that was his issue in Miami. He had 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. So how can he get the OC hire correct? Does he have someone on the Viking staff right now that he looks at and goes, yep, you're going to be my OC if I get a head coach? Maybe it's Josh McCown. That wouldn't excite you, Jet fans? I'd love that. Hawk writes in, if keeping Rodgers, then Rex is our only hope. I don't know. Rex took a stupid dig at Rodgers today over the minicamp stuff, which I thought was just like him just running his mouth trying to placate to Woody. And I don't believe Rex is even genuine with that, but all right. If we're going to move on from Rodgers, the answer is Fields and Munkin. I want Sexy Rexy. Play the song. I will not be strong-armed by you, Hawk. But thank you for the super chat. We'll get to more of your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, the boycott is seemingly over. on the Gusbuster hotline right now is hello, Bobby.
Hello. Good morning to you. I'm not boycotting you.
There was some speculation in the chat that you were from
comment
Jay.
to Joe, and you didn't put it up. You put everybody up. No, don't listen to the chat. They have nothing to do with me. I'm here. I'm explaining myself. I had a couple of. I said, "Hi, Joe. I love you, Joe," because I used to call in Ever Roberts. Did you see that comment? You didn't put that up for me.
I didn't see the comment. It wasn't
okay?
a super chat, Bobby. It wasn't a super
Come
chat.
on. You see everybody else's. I did it like 3 or 4 times, Jake.
Oh,
You
well, that's called
everybody
spam.
else's comment.
We don't allow
Okay,
spam
so that's
in
it.
the chat.
I'm not boycotting. So I came on to see it.
We don't allow
Okay,
spam in the chat.
I came in to talk to you. Good morning. Good morning. I'm not boycotting you, so have a great day, Jake.
Sounds
I
like you're
enjoyed your
boycotting,
show.
Bobby.
That was a great show.
And
Good show.
Jay is saying that you spam the chat.
Okay, I'm
50
sorry I
times.
spammed in the chat.
Well, that's why I
Goodbye.
couldn't read it.
Goodbye.
You know, but super chats cut the line around here. He's got. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Midnight, very angry, and his internet connection downright horrific. 25 writes in, grumpy midnight today. Yo Holmes says, Bobby, big shot. I'm telling you, Bobby's become quite the diva, man. He has these moments. He's like he's like a woman PMSing once a month. You know, he gets very moody. Tom Ace wants to know, where is the beast? Dixon Yas says, we want the beast. You guys want the beast? He's not on the line. D-Rob, Bobby has no time for your shenanigans. Super chats cut the line, D-Rob. If he had super chatted it, I maybe would have brought it up. Mo writes in, Bobby Diva. Bino says, you have just lost maybe the leader of your whack pack. Look, this channel can survive without one member of the Asmaniac community. We are a family here. We have a strong unit. Hawk writes in, Bobby is the talent on the show. He's allowed to be a diva. 25 says, unleash the beast. Man, I don't know, Bobby. I feel like a lot of people have noticed your diva tendencies here. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. Let's check in with the great Dave Briga. What's up, Dave?
Jake, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. How's it going, man?
Good. It's, trying to recover from this bad cold, but I'm here down in sunny Florida, so it's nice to be in the warmth.
All right.
Yeah, so, you know, Bobby's Bobby. You just got to take him as he is. He's got a short fuse. You can't get offended at Bobby. We all know who Bobby is. He's
Some
Bobby.
days he's in a jolly mood, though, Dave. And then a day like today, you know, he's very grumpy. He was very rude to Jay Graves yesterday. There was some controversy there I saw. So, you know, a lot of things happening with Bobby Midnight.
You can't push Bobby's buttons. You just know he goes off the edge. That's Bobby. We all accept Bobby for who he is.
I thought he was going to let things roll off his back, though.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
You don't think it's possible?
Not with Bobby. Bobby's Bobby. There's only one Bobby. We all know Bobby. It's just the way he is. Hey, we all have our pros and cons, and that's Bobby's way. You know it well, better than anybody. You know, you dealt with it a long time, and hey, we already lost Allen. We can't lose Bobby.
But losing Allen's a good thing.
You won't get that controversy. We're going to get that controversy for like Allen. That's not going to happen. There's only one Allen. There's only one Bobby. You can't make them up. You can't make them up, Jake.
Have you met Beastbreaker? I think we'll find controversy.
I do not, Jake. That's one person I do not want to meet. You know, I want to, please. It's just, he should be, you know, I'm not even going to go there because I'd have to go up in his attic and pull him out of there. You know, it's just the guy is, it's beyond belief. That's all I can say. There's nothing positive. So why even go there, Jake? Why go there? I just want, you know, the bad season has ended, and we just got to get the organization in place that's going to bring us some peace, and you know, we can't take more of this. You know, it's too much. It's gone too far. Joe B. Hey, we don't want to be like getting like Joe B. And I don't want to get to the point where we just have no hope. Just we need to have the right person in place. But Jake, the whole question I have is why isn't the GM in place? Why have we gone this far without not having a GM?
They're doing both. They're doing both. They're gonna. I think they're gonna hire the GM first, but they're casting a wide range. These are just first interviews, Dave. You're not going to be able to hire a coach till January 20th at the earliest, anyway.
No, but not the coach. But I'm saying we've been out with a GM now. I would say within the next 10 days, we better have a GM. Wouldn't you say so?
Well, some of the candidates they want to talk to for GM might be with this process is going to take a couple of weeks here. The NFL has new rules in place over the last 2 years where you can't just hire a guy immediately. It's going to take time. So I do ultimately believe they're going to hire the GM first, and then they're going to hire the head coach. So it's going to play out. These are just first interviews. Eventually, once they hire the GM, they'll have second and third round of interviews with the coaching candidates, with the GM, I believe, in person.
Well, I hope it happens soon for the GM because it should work the GM first and the coach so we're all on the same page. I mean, the coach before the GM generally doesn't work out very well. So they got to get this thing right. And I know they've had direction with Tannenbaum and the other fellow, but let's get going here. Something's got, start lining your ducks up. It's got to, we want to already. This whole Vrabel thing is falling apart. And as far as this Ben Johnson, I've never seen such a condescending person in my life. I mean, who does he think he is? Vince Lombardi? I mean, come on. Go pick your own team. This guy thinks he's, God's gift to the world. I mean, come on. Let's go. I mean, I don't know if we want a guy like that, I mean, we don't need that.
I hope personally he goes to New England if that means that the Jets could get Vrabel because he's taking an interview with the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, I'm just chiming in today, so everybody have a good week. I'm just going to enjoy my week down here in the warmth, and that's it. Get over this
good,
cold.
Dave. The bucket hat, I feel like, was meant for your trip down to Florida.
Oh, they love this hat on the planes. You got a lot of exposure on the plane down here, So I had it on the plane. I love that. Yeah. So everybody.
Let me ask you this, Dave. Your thoughts on BMAC's latest controversy he found himself in?
He gets himself in his own jams, I don't know. If he's gone through the gauntlet of this year and he can stay, then he could say he could be a Jets fan now. I have no problem with it because he ran the gauntlet, right? He ran this year. So let's see what kind of person he is, if he's going to stay or he's going to leave. That's all I could say. I made my peace with this guy. I try to be. I think he's, right now he's gone through this year, like I said. So, I mean, what he said about Jay Grace, I mean, that was unconscionable. Whatever he said, I don't know. The guy is off the wall. We all know that.
He is, Dave. He is. But I'll tell you what, it's good to see you down in Florida, repping the bucket hat, full of positivity. I'm excited for this offseason for you, Dave Brigger. You're going to be a big part.
I'm going down to the beach in a few minutes just to relax, to walk the beach and enjoy the rays. So I'll be talking to you during the week. So everybody have a good day.
Dave, all the love. Great call. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some breaking news that could change the fabric of this very show and another show we all appreciate for decades to come.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
I have just received an email from one Charles Eugene M. Gorman. And for full transparency, I will show the email on the show. Charles Gorman has wrote in, "Hi, Jake. Sorry to bother you again, but I was wondering if you would like to do a collaboration with me on my channel sometime soon. Please let me know." Yes, I would be interested. Let's do it, Charles. Hold on. There we go. Boom. All right, folks. I've just committed to do a collaboration with none other than Charles Eugene M. Gorman. Let's freaking go.
Excuse me.
Oh, baby. I'm gonna rip ass on the Gorman show. Just out of respect when you go on with Charles. I'm honored, man. I'm honored. I'm definitely doing that collab with Charles. Chris J has gifted a channel membership. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. Listener Timothy Looper received the membership. Only 13 memberships have been gifted during the show. If you want in on the raffle, you're running out of time. J Quest wants to know, when does the top 10 come out for December? You guys want the top 10 list? Let's just say I received a message during this show about 20 minutes ago, and I have the list in front of me. But we're not doing it this show. Should we do it during the afternoon show today with Will Parkinson around 5 p.m.? Should we drop the top 10? Later today, raffle tomorrow, top 10 this afternoon. I like that. We'll do top 10 this afternoon. I have the data in front of me. I'll give you guys some insight here. Bobby Midnight led the list with 43 calls in the month of December. Second place at 31. Crazy. I took 534 total calls in the month of December. I refereed 45 official Asmaniac Rumbles. Allen led the way with official Asmaniac Rumbles with 14, followed closely by BMAC at 13, and Rob the Jet Fan at 11. These stats are incredible by the committee here. Unbelievable. Shout out to Boomtown, Rich, and Tom. We will do it this afternoon. Jets put in an interview request for Josh McCown. Love it. What the Jets are doing is they're doing their homework on all these guys, because even if McCown doesn't get the head coaching job, which I don't believe he will, how about the OC for Brian Flores? I love it. Future head coach, Brian Flores, OC, Josh McCown, quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. Sign me up. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Fellow writes in, how the hell do you call 43 times in a month? Well, there's only one guy who can answer that question, and he has called back in.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Well, my internet sucked because of the wind. He had to refresh it. Sorry. And I do apologize for scamming your channel, but you really hurt me. Oh, if he doesn't call in, don't worry about it. One less as maniac. So that really hurt my feelings.
What am I supposed to say, Bobby? That if I lose you, the show's over? We can't do the show without you? I have to put on a face that I can handle it without you. The truth is, I don't want to lose you from the show.
Yeah, well, you're going to lose me for that comment. Yeah.
That's it? This is your last ever call?
No, I didn't say that, but you upset me. Yeah. Like I upset you a lot. Then I apologized to you. You should apologize to me for hurting my
Pittsburgh
feelings.
Mike says, stop crying.
Oh, shut up, Pittsburgh Mike. Won't you fucking shut your fucking
whoa.
up.
Why are you so grumpy today, Bob? We're having fun
I'm not
here.
grumpy. I slept for 10 hours.
I think you need more sleep.
No, I'm fine.
Mo writes in, Bobby requesting a trade.
Yes. Mo Sports. Yes. Thank you.
Ryan says, Bobby acting like he's the next president.
No, I don't, Rashid, I do not.
Cactus says, crybaby midnight.
Okay, Cactus Johnny, you just type in the chat. You never calling to shut your pie hole up, okay?
Curly says, I remember when Bobby was nice.
Oh, I'm Curly, I'm nice. You never calling either. So when you call in, I will stop, you guys like to talk about people in, oh, there's my friend. I love you, Hector, and you dog too.
25 says, Bobby, you don't want to be a locker room problem. Bobby, the truth is, I want you to continue calling the show.
25, I love you. You're my friend too.
There was some speculation that you were boycotting again, so I addressed the comment from Three Siblings Jay. Take it up with Jay. I just read his comment. I wasn't saying.
Jay, Three Siblings?
Yeah, Jay was the one who said you were boycotting.
The pot star. Okay, Jay, you wait till you get to my show. You're going to be timed out for 5 minutes. Okay?
Whoa! Don't do that to Jay.
Oh, I'm going to do that to Jay. I'm going to bounce him for 24 hours. Like
24 hours?
Yep.
For suggesting that you were boycotting? I don't think that's a little extreme.
I wasn't boycotting. The reason why, you could have put the comment up there.
If you super chatted it, maybe I would.
I don't have enough money to do that right now. I'm paying bills. I don't have my old show, which I could make good super chats by now. But
what do you mean? Every pound you lose, you make like $90. You got plenty of money.
But I've got the only person I got really paid from was for Ken, but I had to use some of that for bills I need to pay for. So I only have.
Have you thought about getting an actual job, Bobby?
I am. This morning I signed up for Burger King. Last night I did. I got Burger King. I did it.
No way, really?
I'm waiting for application to that.
All right, give me a little BK. Have it your way.
Yeah, Burger King. It's right up the road, so it's going to be much easier for me to get there because Michael, we share the car, so Michael and I could work in the morning, then Michael could pick me up and he could go drop me off and then go to the hospital at 4 o'clock.
That would be incredible if you were at Burger King.
And I work part-time. I used to work at McDonald's down in Greenfield, and then the lady took my license away, and this is the craziest New Hampshire, okay? So I'm supposed to pay child support, right? I was in the back. She said I was in the back row. So she goes, I have to drive. I got to take your license away from you. Okay, so how am I going to do work? I'm working in Massachusetts. Give me like a couple more weeks because it's springtime. She said, no, we're taking your license away. So I did not want to leave that job. She was bullshit. Then I finally got my license back after I got my SSID. I paid that off. Child support. Then I got my license.
Nate writes in, imagine I got a burger and it smelled like Bobo. I'd be honored.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need Mando for my armpits, my cock, my ball sack.
What are you talking? Family show, Bob.
You said you got to do all your body parts. You said that.
Yeah, your nether regions is what we call it.
Yeah, well, I just call my ball sack.
Brian writes in, will Bobby wear the BK crown during his call-ins?
Maybe, Brian. Okay.
You should start wearing your Burger King crown if you work at Burger King. That'd be big.
Yeah, I'll ask him. I used to wear that when I was a kid. Yes, Brian J. Maybe I will.
Well, I'm just glad you're not boycotting the show, Bobby. It's good.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that you couldn't, because I talked to Joe a long time with Evan Roberts. He loved me. I used to call him. You could have gave me the link. I could have put that in private chat, but you didn't give the link.
I wasn't taking calls, so we didn't do any calls.
I know, but how did he find out in private chat?
Because I had the link pinned in the comments for when I was gonna take calls after the segment with Joe ended.
Oh well, I don't know how he found out that. So.
What do you mean? He just saw the private chat the same way you do when you're on hold and you and
I love that guy. I love that guy. I love Joe Benigno. He's my
friend. So stop yelling at me and thinking I played favorites with Joe. I didn't. We didn't take any calls.
No, you could have read that. I don't have enough money. You could have read that at least.
It didn't fit what we were talking about. You in all caps saying, "Hi, Joe, I love you." Like,
okay, all right.
It didn't fit the flow of the show.
Okay, I go with the flow of the show. Okay,
Mike writes in, those poor BK customers.
Mike, Raj, I want you to go suck a dick.
Okay? Whoa, Bobby, calm down. Take a breath. That would be all right.
I hate these people who type in chat.
D-Rock says, Bobby, you have the voice of a little girl.
D-Rock, I think you could go jump in the fucking lake, okay?
Whoa, Bobby, family show.
D-Rock, go blow yourself.
Whoa. AD has nicknamed you Bobby Ballsack.
Oh, okay. Great. You guys should come on in. I would love you to talk. You know, you never talk. You love to talk in chat.
Joe Mike says, can Bobby say, would you like fries with that or supersize order?
No, Joe Mike, I say, don't let the dog kick you in the ass. That's what I will say to you, okay?
Mo writes in, Bobby, you have the mouth of a douche.
I know, Mo Sports. I like you, Mo. Thank you very much. I know
ISU writes in, Bobby will BK give you stock options.
I don't know. I go to work. I only can work part-time, so I don't think so.
Bill M says, hi, can I take your effing order?
Yes, sir. Bill M's great. I love Bill M. That's not the older guy that we talked to.
Green shirt says, so you're pissed because Jake did not read your chat to Joe B. Come on, Bobby.
Okay, what's your mind your own business, Green Truth? I don't know you. I don't care about you, so go away. Okay? Don't care about
Cactus
you.
Johnny says, Joe's time is reserved for real Jet fans, not Gino.
Okay, Cactus Johnny, I've been a Jet fan longer than you were alive, so shut up. I don't want to hear from you, Cactus Jack.
John writes in, over under how many days Bobby lasts at BK?
Oh, I bet I'll be there for 3 years, John LG. Okay, thank you.
Bobby, I can't wait for you to sing the BK theme song.
Yeah, I'll sing. Have it your way at Burger King. Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce, special orders, don't forget it. Have it your way at Burger King. I love that. Ooh, I grew up on that.
D-Rock says, I would love to join your show and trash you.
D-Rock, won't you come in? I will. Yeah, okay, come in and trash me. But call in, big mouth. If you call in, I will take your, yeah.
What are your thoughts on you hating the people who chat in the chat?
Yeah, Rich Chat. Yeah, I don't like them because they're chicken shit. They put big words in the, they type, they're road warriors.
Bobby, kids watch these shows. Easy on the language.
Jay Quest, you're so perfect. I forgot. You're a perfect man. But I thank you for knocking me on my ass. I still thank you very much. I still thank you.
Brian wants the next Asmaniac meetup to be at Burger King. Your thoughts?
Maybe we could do that, Brian J. Yes, maybe.
Yo Holmes says, Bobby hates everyone who doesn't call in. Too many big words.
Yo Holmes. Okay, we'll go yo it at somewhere else where you live. Okay, bye, yo.
Yeah, go yo it. I like that.
Go yo.
25 says, Bobby and Gio will tag team D-Rock douche.
Yeah, we could do that. She is my friend. Maybe we could double douche D-Rock because he is a big douche. I agree with that.
That's No Ghost says, we have jobs. That's why we chat in the chat.
Oh, you got jobs. Okay, whatever. I don't give a shit what you have. Okay, bye.
Strong. A couple super chats here. Big fella, how did you call 43 times in a month?
I don't know. How could I?
Hamburger says, I'll miss the show already. I'll be tuned in at 5. Hamburger, we'll see you there.
Hamburger, I love you. Remember, I love you. I say happy birthday to you.
Big fella wants to know, has your diet made you angry?
No, that people piss me off, big fella, in the chat. You know, they don't even know me from their mother. So they type about me, and I'm going to defend myself, okay? I got every right to defend myself.
Space I love Ghost you, says, Bobby, Ghost. We love you.
Oh, I love you, Space Ghost.
Jojo writes in, know your role, Bobby.
You know your role, Jojo. Why don't you go play football because you can't even catch? So bye-bye. I hate that guy, Jojo.
Curly says it's not the diet. Bobby's just a dick now. He used to be nice.
Oh, okay, Curly. Like you're a nice person. You're a big douchebag yourself. Bye.
Well, I will say Curly might be mentally deranged, as he admits all the time. But
I think he is.
He did pick up V-Man before the home opener this year and drive.
Well, his mother dropped him on his head when he was a kid. So,
who?
Yeah.
Curly
Norman. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Curly Norman got dropped on the kid. Yep. If
Curly says, I drove V-Man to a game. What have you done, Bobby?
Well, I offered to drive him. He didn't take my. If I went to the game, I was going to pick him up too. Congratulations. You want a cookie for that, Curly Norman? Want a cookie?
Dan writes in, Bobby doesn't drive. He rides a menstrual cycle.
Oh, Dan, well, good. I drive, Dan, and you're on your period too. So thank you for the comment, Dan. I much appreciate it.
John writes in, Bobby just needs 3 minutes with Joy Taylor and his tune will change right away.
Who the hell is Joy Taylor? Never heard of Joy Taylor.
Pittsburgh Mike says, Bobby, this is all just a test to prepare you for crazy customers at BK.
Oh, I love customers more than I like you, Pittsburgh Mike. I love customers. I don't like you.
That's No Ghost says, will BK pay you in butter?
I don't know. Maybe I'll ask him to do that. Thank you.
J-Quest says, I met Curly. He's a good dude.
Well, congratulations. You want a cookie too? I'll give you a cookie, J-Quest. But I do appreciate for you knocking me on my ass.
Boomtown wants to know, may I have a cookie, Bobby?
Yeah, I'll mail you up a black and white cookie, Boomtown. So did they do the list yet or no?
No, not yet. Gator says, Bobby, you said Rick Kent was the only one who paid you so far, but I sent you money. Do you hate me? I also have paid you for part of it too, Bobby. I said I was going to do it.
Yeah,
in
but I need
stints.
to pay bills. I only got one check coming in. I used to have super chats that helped me pay the bills too.
No, what you need to do, Bobby, is get an actual job. So I'm glad to hear that you're a candidate for a job at BK, because you doing YouTube is not a sustainable way to make an income at this point right now.
No, it's not. I figured that out. That's why I did it last night. Yep. I'm gonna look up some more later tonight.
Mo says, Bobby, do your show at BK.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna let me do it, Mo.
On your lunch break.
I don't know. I probably won't have a lunch break if I only have part-time. So
Bobby desperately needs a fresh serving of Peace Breaker.
Well, I think Cactus Jack, you should shut your pie hole up. That's what I think. Bye. I don't need your comments.
Dixon Yas says, I could see Bobby throwing fries at a customer.
Oh, I love Dixon Yas. That's my friend. Yeah, no, I don't do that. No. I'll do the cooking, but I don't deal with customers. But I will love to do be the cashier one day, too.
Richard says, Bobby Fries.
Yeah, I'll do Bobby Fries if they name them. I doubt it. But
Riot says, the Bobby, put the fries in the bag, bro. Jokes will write themselves.
You're funny. Why don't you go back to your job? Okay, bye. See you later.
That's no ghost, says. Beast Breaker said he's changing his name to Bobby Breaker.
That no ghost. Go back to your job. Like you said, you have a job, so bye. Go do it. Okay. Thank
Mo
you.
writes in, even in the brief lapse of judgment, Bobby is still my hero.
You're my hero too, Mo. Sports Talk. I love you too.
D-Rock writes in, Bobby, a lot of us don't like you because you're a little baby when someone calls you out and then you threaten them.
Oh, D-Rock, I think once you come on my show and I let you and then let you run your mouth. Okay, let's see how far it gets you. Okay, bye.
Pittsburgh Mike says, Bobby, I apologize. Can we be friends again?
Yes, Pittsburgh Mike, we can. I know you for a long time.
Tom A says, we need Bobby's face over the Burger King in the old NFL commercials that they used to play. Gator, new idea for you. Give me a Bobby Midnight Burger King commercial. We need it.
No, that would be awesome. I go for that one, definitely. You could put well, they don't have any special sauce, I don't think. Like McDonald's does. It's Thousand Islands with, it's ketchup and mayonnaise. And then
also, Gator, I texted you about this, but a mimosa video for memberships. That the Burger King Bobby and mimosa. We gotta get those.
She does need it. She's a nice lady.
She's incredible. Very supportive.
She's my friend in Discord now. I talk to her. She's very nice. She's in Florida. She used to live in New York. She's in Florida now.
Boomtown with a question for you, Bobby.
What? I might have misheard you, Bobby. Could you say dick's on your ass? Yeah, dick's on your ass.
Brian writes in, who took 3 bites of my Whopper? Says many future Burger King customers.
Brian Glick, I won't do that. I'm not discussing like you are. You probably eat your sandwiches and give it to your mother. Okay, bye.
Whoa, got his ass there. Mo says, Gator, make sure you put in ding, fries are done in that.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, Mo. Yeah.
Give me a little ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done. I gotta run.
Do you ever see Roseanne? You see Roseanne? When she used to work for that teenage boss of hers. And
Gator, I got the clip. I just thought the Family Guy, Peter Griffin, ding, fries are done.
Oh, yeah, you got to do that. Peter Griffin is my guy. Yes, Peter Griffin. I go for that. Definitely. Yep. Thank you. I love my Peter Griffin.
I think we're going to start calling you Bobby Burgers or Bobby BK.
Yeah, well, they have a cartoon about me, too, on TV now, Bob's Burgers.
All right, so now let's go over this here before we wrap, Bobby. So you have submitted the application to Burger King, and we're confident that you have it all figured out?
Yeah, I'm going to do some more. I tried to get back to, they're not hiring right now, so, at Halloween. So I hope they hire me back. I love that place.
Gator writes in, can I have a farting Rick Kent flying over a glass of mimosa? The problem is Rick Kent will strangle you, Gator. Be careful.
Yeah, you better be Rick Kent. If he hears a fart noise, he's going to go to the floor himself and strangle your ass, Gator.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't care about me because I fart a lot, so I don't care.
Thank you for letting us know.
Well, I fart, I tell you now, because I eat. Yeah. It used to bother me no more. But I'm telling you right now.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Elvis Presley says, Bobby, you're losing in the first round of the Asmaniac tournament. One and done, buddy.
Oh, well, you're not even into tournament. Go sing goodbye, whatever you sing. You're dead already. Bye. Okay, bye, Elvis. Thank you for Elvis has left the building, everybody.
Jesus Jerry just wants to make sure that you don't fart near the food at Burger King.
No, I promise I won't, Jerry Baka. Jesus, Jerry Baka. I promise I won't.
Gator writes in, so no go on Rick Kent coming out of Burger King farting if Bobby's working there.
No, probably not. No.
Big Fella wants to know what pisses you off so much about Peacebreaker.
He can't talk a complete sentence. He's a bunch of bull crap, and Jake says he comes with good stuff.
I think he makes some salient points.
He can't even name the stock exchange. I did it 1, 2, 3, and it's done.
I don't know. I thought his passion for the Jets was evident. I think you got to give him another chance.
Shut up. He mumbled. He's in the mental institution. His nurse was calling him the other day. You asked about his laundry last night. He forgot he threw up on himself yesterday, and his nurse had to change his shirt yesterday.
Purple Belt Mike says, Gator going to have Bobby farting out burgers.
He could do that to me. I don't mind. Rick Kent doesn't like the farting, so.
Blitz BK is questioning whether or not it's a good idea for you to work at a fast food place.
Well, I did when I was 366 pounds, Blitz BK.
Are you going to be sneaking a lot of Whoppers on the side?
Nope, because I don't eat I can eat the meat, but I can't eat the buns.
Is that going to be hard for you, though, to be around that food every day and not have some?
I was 366 pounds working at McDonald's. I didn't eat their food, so fine. I'm perfectly fine. Thank you for concerning with me.
Elvis Presley says, I tried to watch Bobby's show once, but I left with a suspicious mind.
Oh, poor Elvis, because you're dead. You're not alive. So go blow yourself. Don't let the door kick in the ass, okay? Bye. I had enough of your stupid ass comments. Bye.
Philly Noodle says, will Bobby serve Peacebreaker as a customer at BK?
No, nope, I'm not going to serve his that. No, I don't want him near my Burger King. He won't even fit through the door, you think.
Tom Ace reading the AI summary of the chat. Yeah. Viewers in the chat are reacting with amusement to Bobby's plans to work at Burger King. They suggest that he could incorporate his flatulence into his job there.
No, I'd rather not do that because that show disrespect to Burger King.
Would you spit in Peacebreaker's burger?
I wouldn't even serve that fat fuck. He can't.
Whoa.
Fat thing. He won't.
What does his weight have to do with serving him? Come on.
I won't serve him because he can't get through the door. They have to make a bigger door for him.
What if he does drive through?
Maybe.
Would you put the fries in the bag for Peacebreaker?
No, I'll spit in his fries. Yep.
All right.
He doesn't even need any more food. He eats too much. He's like 700 pounds. I just gained. What's this guy?
Jersey Joe wants you to sing the full Whopper song. Can you prepare that for the afternoon show today?
Yes, I can.
All right. We'll get you on to sing that.
Yeah. Oh, the pickles, oh, the lettuce, special. Have it your way at Burger King.
Mo writes in, would you and Peacebreaker have a hamburger eating contest?
No, he'll shoot me down. It'll only take him about 6 minutes to eat 80 burgers. So,
Brian writes in, Between the weight loss and the new job, we're all proud of you, Bobby. Let's be clear. He hasn't gotten the job yet, but it's a good first step that he's applying for these jobs.
Yeah, I've got to apply for. I agree with you and Nick. I do have to get out there, get a job, because, like you said, right now, I could always do that part-time too. Get my numbers up, and then I get back to my super chats.
Yeah, it could be a side hustle for you.
Yes, that's right. Yes, side hustles. Yeah. Well, I did it. That's the reason why I did it, because remember when I injured myself in the bathroom?
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I was
that
out of
when
work?
is that when you accidentally put the toilet seat down on your schlong?
No, I fell backwards because I tripped over it and I fell on my butt. So I hurt my coccyx again. That was too good. So I was out of work for a while. So
Gator says, will Bobby serve B-Max with extra beatings?
yeah, beatings. That's about what he deserves. B-Max talks about my woman again like that, I'll give him more hell. Forget about that.
Mike says, Bobby Burger, please calm down. You're mad all the time.
Mike Rotunda, I think you make too much comments about me, so don't let the door kick in the ass, and I don't want to talk to you anymore. I just don't like your stupid comments, okay?
Blitz
Bye.
BK says, Bobby losing weight, about to get a 9 to 5. Next is getting laid.
No, I can't. I got to work part-time there. I have to work part-time. I can't get over it. Oh, I'm trying to get laid in March when I get down to weight.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get laid soon.
Mo writes in, Bobby, instead of BK, what about Five Guys?
I don't know. Maybe it's in Keene, but I don't know. I'd rather do BK. It's right up the road for me. It's right next to Michael's place.
Let's see. This comment here is from DD. He says, Bobby.
No, I want to read the other one. I don't even know this guy first.
Kyle says, Bobby fall in the bathroom sounds like Frank from Shameless Move.
Well, Kyle, it was horrendous. It was bad.
This question is from DD. Not even a question, more of a statement. He's calling you, Bobby, a big, big baby.
Hey, DD, you never call in, so I would shut your pie hole. Don't let the dog kick in the ass, and bye.
Well said.
Thank you.
Brooklyn Bourne says, Bobby Doucheburger.
Brooklyn Bourne, I think you're a douche ass, so bye. Don't let the dog kick you in the ass.
Gator writes in, Bobby working at Burger King is like weed the people working at Hunter Biden's house.
You're great.
Jesus Jerry says, Bobby, get some tats and work as a barista.
Nah, I'm not getting no tats on my body. No way, Jose.
You don't have any tattoos?
Nope, nothing.
How much money would you need to be paid to get a tattoo of Beast Breaker on your lower back?
I don't get no tattoos on my body. Thank you.
I see.
Any more?
Purple Belt Mike says, all I know is Beast Breaker better not make the Asmaniac bracket.
I agree with Purple Belt Mike.
He's eligible. He's one of the 68 contestants, potentially. I think he'd make the field of 68. You don't think he'd crack the field?
I think he'd break the field. Yeah, he'd sit on it, then he'd break the field. Yeah, there goes. Purple Belt Mike, I agree with you. That is a moron and a moron.
I see.
I don't see him in the chat. Maybe he is in solitaire at the mental institution. They may throw him in solitaire.
No, he's actually interviewing for the job at Burger King you're interviewing for. I heard you guys are competing with each other.
No, he doesn't live in Vermont, so I don't have to worry about that.
Oh, any truth to the rumor that they're going to pay you in butter at BK if you get a job there?
I'll ask them to. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. This was a nice show, Jake. I love you.
All right, Bobby. Great job. And we'll see you this afternoon when you will sing us the BK theme song. All right.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up to sing it.
All right. We'll talk to you then. All right.
Okay. Talk to you soon, everybody. Love you, except the stupid haters. Bye.
Well, you know, I've grown to love my buddy Alan, but South-Ass has to go. I threw him off my show. I'm Bobby.
Hit the like button if you haven't already. There's 700 of you in here right now that got to experience a vintage Bobby Midnight phone call right there. Top 10 rankings for December on the afternoon slate today. after the Will Parkinson conversation. That is projected to start around 5. Will is always late, so probably after 5. Let's be real. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 calls and then we wrap.
It's time for V-Man to talk about Puerto Rico and his Puerto Rican roots.
Hey Jake, what's up?
What's up, V-Man?
Happy Three Kings Day.
Happy Three Kings Day.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yep.
where were you a couple of years ago on January 6th? Were you in D.C.?
No.
No?
No, but with the coaching, I was surprised by the Mayo firing, with I was gonna ask this with Bobby. I put in the chat, Bobby, you Burger King's fries with their onion rings.
I see. So you would trust Bobby to serve you a Whopper and some onion rings?
Yeah, I trust him to handle the food preparation on that.
I see.
But let's get back to the football talk. I'm not the biggest Flores guy. I'm gonna have to see, but if you bring in McCown, I would actually like that. Like, I think what he's done, obviously with the quarterback, how he's transitioned to coaching. As a obviously starting off with a quarterback coach, obviously he's playing a big. I think what he's done with Darnold in Minnesota is impressive. One I like. I mean, I agree with you that there is a possibility that the Patriots could go Ben Johnson, and there's still opportunity that we shouldn't, completely give up on Mike Vrabel. But
Boomtown wants to know: are you sleep talking right now? The energy level a little low.
hold on, is that better? Is that better?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, like I said, I still want to try to get Vrabel. Do what you can to get him, but I understand if it's not possible. And I understand this is an important offseason. We have to get this right. I think the important thing is getting the coaching right because there is talent here. We can, if we get the coaching right, we can have a competitive season next year.
Jesus Jerry says, nice blankie, V-Man.
All right.
Uh-oh, Hector coming at you, the Puerto Rican fraud.
Ah, shut it. All right, Hector. Okay, Hector, whose birthday in Puerto Rico is on the 11th? I'm not gonna say it, but but you wanna know what? I don't need his crud. He wants to bash me, go ahead, bash me.
NYJ Eternal says you haven't slept in 5 weeks. This can't be true. You fell asleep when I went to you the other day.
It probably did. I'll be honest, I probably did. But you know what?
Ralphie says that you have grayed so much due to the Jet season. Is this true?
No, my family just has bad genetics. We gray at an early age.
I don't think graying is bad. I think it adds some sophistication to you. I think it looks good.
Yeah. But like I was saying, this off season,
John Gotti has called out Rob V again. All that talk from Rob V, and he was a no-show, just a yappa.
Well, when it comes to the first time, I'm not the biggest first-time guy. You get an offensive guy, I'd be more open to it. But whoever the Jets get, obviously, I agree with you. I'm going to support them no matter what. So, yeah. So, like I said, they've already interviewed Flores. They're going to get Rex tomorrow. It seems they're being quite methodical with this search. So I got to ask, with looking like Vrabel is most likely out of the picture, who do you think is the favorite to get the job now?
I think Brian Flores has a real chance to get it, and Aaron Glenn. Those are the 2 names I'm watching closely.
All right. Well, I don't really got much else to say.
That's it?
Yeah, not much else, really.
All right. Well, V-Man, thank you for blessing us with another magical phone call. Hello, Linus.
All right, bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, V-Man.
That's the end of this V-Man call. Time for him to get back to pooping.
One last call. Jason in Jerusalem. Close us out. What's up, Jason?
Hey, Jake. How you doing?
What's up, Jason?
I'm looking through the list, and frankly, it's almost like the Jets have like, when you need to write that paper and you need to add more examples or throw in more words. Seriously, why the hell are Matt Nagy, Arthur Smith, and Brian Griese on this job interview list?
Due diligence, man. They're going to talk to as many people as possible. It's round one. There's going to be multiple interviews here. So
maybe they can interview Kotite and Gase again. I mean, seriously.
I'm not going to criticize them for doing due diligence. I'm not. If they end up hiring Matt Nagy, that's a different thing. I don't have a problem with them interviewing a bunch of candidates.
I mean, these are people that they can't even like move over to an OC. For example, with somebody like Brian Griese, they could always interview him because he's the QB coach and then upgrade him to an OC.
Correct.
So there is the justification. But with Matt Nagy and Arthur Smith, there's no side move that they could do.
Well, I mean, maybe they end up hiring one of those guys. I wouldn't like it, but like they're gonna have a process where they talk to a lot of people. Like I don't have a problem with this. You got to remember something too, Jason. This is the first time the Jets have had both a GM and coach opening at the same time in a decade. When they hired Joe Douglas, there was already a coach in place. When they hired Robert Saleh, there was already a GM in place. And also, Woody Johnson was not really involved in the last two hirings here. He was still the ambassador of the UK. He is now a part of this GM and coach search together for the first time since 2015, and they got to get it right. So the more people you talk to, the more info you can gather about your organization as well. I don't have an issue with them talking to a lot of candidates. They're the only team in the league right now that needs both a GM and a coach. So I don't see the harm in interviewing everyone. Like, I'd rather them talk to more people than not enough people. I think it's a good problem.
Mulkey survived in Jacksonville?
What?
Mulkey survived in Jacksonville?
Yes.
Okay. So we have at least one franchise that's more dysfunctional than us.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Giants are a mess too, keeping Shane and Dable. I think that's crazy.
Oh, absolutely. But the one I wanted to ask you, because you spent time in Houston, what's the word about Josh McCown, who I just saw that from Schefter that he was going to be interviewed?
Yeah, I love McCown. He retired and then had an interview for the Texans head coaching job, and they were very close to hiring him, like very, very close. He's going to be head coach in the league someday. I think I think the Jets would envision him as an OC with them, with like Brian Flores or something like that. That I could see it.
He's the QB coach now or the OC?
He's currently the quarterback coach.
Okay, so he could make a move like that. But wasn't this story that Houston was going to hire him until Flores threw out his lawsuit, and that's why Houston went with Lovie Smith instead?
Well, there was a lot of pressure, not just because of that, but Texans fans basically revolting that we're going to allow Jack Easterby to hire Josh McCown, who has never been a coach before, and we're going to make him a head coach with no experience. That was why that got turned down. It wasn't just the Flores lawsuit.
Okay. Did you see what the Jets press wrote about Brian Flores and why he doesn't want Flores to be the HC?
I did. Fair points. I think Brian Flores has learned a lot from his first go around. I think he's done a good job in Minnesota. I like that he had a year under Tomlin as well. And I think guys get better with their second chances, and I think he did a decent job, all things considered, his first time around.
Speaking about getting better with second chances, that's exactly why I don't want Rex. Look at what he did in Buffalo. He did absolutely nothing in Buffalo.
Yeah, he was 500, and they well, you know what he did? He knocked the Jets out of the playoffs in 2015.
Well, Fitzpatrick not being able to throw a pass and dumb fourth down penalties. Something's never changed for the Jets.
I get it. Look, Rex is not my number one, but I'd rather him over some first timer.
Which first timer would you be okay with?
I mean, really none of them. But if I had to pick, I guess I would. They're not going to talk to Ben Johnson. I mean, Joe Brady's interesting. They requested him. Liam Cohen, they're going to request. I guess Aaron Glenn, if they're going to sell you on, if Aaron Glenn is a good OC pick, I could be convinced, I guess. I don't know. I really just don't want a first timer. I'm very against a first time coach learning on the job.
The one thing I'm wondering, speaking about McCown and Glenn, I can't recall this. Have the Jets ever had a former Jet as their HC?
No, I don't think so. It's kind of like D'Amico Ryans going back to the Texans. It'd be similar.
Right.
mean, Rex's dad was on the Super Bowl III staff, buddy.
Right.
So
I'm talking about
count.
players. Yeah. All right, Jake. Great show. Enjoy your break.
Jason, appreciate you, man. Good call. Hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. Power rankings out this afternoon. Join the Patreon. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Get your name in the intro, and please get in our Discord and support me. That's what it's all about, baby. If you are an Asmaniac that is coming to the Knicks meetup with us, I have just received an email from Madison Square Garden that we will officially have 30 spots for pregame warm-ups to watch the Knicks on March 22nd. Pregame shoot-around confirmed for all the Asmaniacs coming out with us. If you haven't paid me yet, I put the link in the Discord how you could do so. I got to send the Knicks an invoice so we could get the official tickets. But if you're one of the people, like 25 I see in the chat, who locked in 2 tickets, it is confirmed from the Knicks themselves. Pre-game shoot-around comes with your ticket in our private section at MSG. So that's some good news to end the show for those who are joining us. Anyway, thank you all. Thank you to Joe, who joined us for the first hour of the show. I'm back at 5 today with Will Parkinson. Ladies and gentlemen, Jets football. The offseason's here. We did it, baby. Jets. Jets.
I'm telling you, bro, this loss ended their season.
Such a joke. I'm glad we got out of there, Joe. Can't believe all the loser Jets fans that stayed.
Bro, I can't take this team anymore. I'm too old for this crap.
Did you hear that? Sounds like they missed that field goal.
Game over, bro. Season over. They can't score, Jake.
Joe, I think we won.
It's good. It's good. Joe, we won. Let's go. Let's go.